And you just watch the way Green Bay is getting started here. They're really crisp. There it is. You know, like they do in wrestling. Boom! There it is. Boom! Right there. That's a wham block. There it is.
Show me the money! Good morning, everybody. Put the coffee on. It's time to wake and rake and win together. What do you got? Some wagers going today? You got some fantasy football lineups to set? You looking for the latest weather reports or injury news? Look no further. You will get all the answers to those questions and more just hanging out with us. Chris is here making it all happen as he does for us every single day. John flew in from Denver, so you know it's a big deal. Guests will also include, but not be limited to, Jordan from Truth Serum. He's here. Elio from Average Joe's. He's here. Our new friend Cricket. You're going to love this guy. He's here. Later, AK from the Millie Goats will stop by, build the DFS lineup. And, of course, our roving collegiate reporter, Morgan Jones, will give us the weather for all of the outdoor games. Boys, we are back. Football is back. It is good to be back with football in our lives again. And you may notice the backdrop is a little different than it was the last time we saw each other. We are now coming to you live from the Betts Laboratory at Canna Bloom Studios. Not bad, right?
Yo.
Man, looking like the club out there, man.
As you can guess, we are brought to you by Canna Bloom Pharmacy with an F.com for all of your safe and legal cannabis needs, from aches and pains to hyper dogs. They've got you covered at Canna Bloom. The staff is second to none when it comes to knowledge and customer service. Not to mention giving us all the necessary amenities to create a podcast. We cannot recommend these folks enough if you are in the market. Facebook user is here already. Good morning, boys with multiple Z's. Who do we think that is? A regular? A new person?
No, that's somebody regular. I just don't know who. Who uses the 3Z, 5, 10 Z's?
That could be one of the Millie Goats.
Yep.
They're young guys. They probably throw Z's on the end of words.
Elio, it's been forever. How the hell are you, brother?
Oh, man. How you doing, gentlemen? It's a pleasure. I am excited. Getting back into this whole thing, like we were saying earlier, man, it is, listen, it is week one. We got to pop them early.
That's right.
Yeah.
We're on Celsius over here.
Again, I've been up since 5 o'clock in the morning. I don't know why, but I think this is a big reason why it's NFL week one. Spill of time, baby. 5 o'clock somewhere. Let's get this money.
It's Angela, too. I was way off. What up, Angela? We'll see her about 2. She'll be up here at the new studio.
Oh,
she's on her way home from Michigan right now to come join us.
Ooh,
hey, Jordan, listen to this. Right outside our door here is the first 2 food trucks had just arrived
of 20,
in, and it's fresh donuts. Fresh donuts out in front of the studio right now. Best food truck on the planet. They melt in your mouth right when they hit your tongue. They start to melt. Phenomenal.
Pure joy. It releases all the dopamine in your brain. Just one of these little donuts.
So envious of you fellas.
Oh,
I brought donuts. I was 14 minutes late this morning, so I brought donuts because I guess that's what you do in an office environment. So I'm getting used to that.
Oh,
and then this truck pulls up with the greatest donuts you've ever had in your life. So they're sitting on the counter over there if anybody wants a Long John from the gas station. Cricket, how you doing, buddy?
I'm good, man. I'm good. I'm looking at that studio, man. I'm jelly. Y'all got it going on, and that thing got the bar in there, got the strobe lights in the back. Man, that is big time.
We're gonna have a big Packers watch party later this afternoon.
We got Corey Hart from the Brewer. My favorite all-time Brewer, Corey Hart, will be on this afternoon with us.
A stand-up comedian gonna come in, tell us some jokes a little later. I mean, we got it all going on today. All the vendors.
Hey, if he can't make this crowd laugh, he's got to go.
Yeah,
this is got to be the right crowd for him.
If you can't kill in a weed shop, then you can't kill anywhere.
Yeah, no hope for you, man.
It's a great freaking business model. You got food and comedy, all together at once. So you gotta sell out today. I mean, there's gonna be some high grossing sales today, my friends.
It's gonna be happening.
You market better than Coach Prime, man.
That's right, baby. If any of y'all want to come back on for the Green Bay, really what it's going to end up being is kind of the first celebration of Jordan Love's Hall of Fame career.
Yeah.
And it's going to start today. And if any one of you guys want to come on and join us, we'll have a huge crowd here. Corey Hart will come on. We're hoping to raffle off some questions to charity. People are going to buy raffle tickets, be able to come in and talk to Corey Hart, ask him some questions, blah, blah, blah. It's going to be a great time.
Dope.
But before we do that, we got some fucking NFL to get into.
Yep.
Let's go.
Also, one more thing you just reminded me of. The owner, Stephanie, said yesterday she has a basket of $750 worth of merchandise from this establishment that you can win with these raffle tickets. Anyway, football. We have actual real football today. Are we ready? Are we ready?
We're ready.
Segment?
Man, we've been ready.
Let's get, I call this one higher than consensus. Get it? Let's get higher than consensus, man. This is where each of us brings a name of one player who the fantasy football cognoscenti is not talking about enough. And the folks in the comments let us know. Matthew O'Day, welcome to the show. That's a new name. Is that a new name? I think so. We got to have a new person, something. We got to have a cowbell in here, maybe a Mike Leach cowbell. Just thinking off the top of my head to celebrate new folks. So, yeah. Football! That's everybody's mood this morning, and I love it. I've surrounded myself with people who love football. That's a successful life. So, we are going to bring up somebody who maybe should be started in a flex spot somewhere that people aren't talking about so much. I brought a couple. I have Jahan Dotson. I think they want to make a statement in this game. Sam Howell's coming out party. A bad defense, arguably the worst defense in the league. I love Jahan Dotson, even if McLaurin plays, especially if McLaurin plays, because he'll draw the coverage with a bum toe, and that'll leave Jahan Dotson. I mean, that kid catches everything.
He's a player.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Jordan, do you love it?
I love Jahan Dotson. I'm smashing him anywhere I have him, and I think he's a no-brainer play this week and probably most weeks this season, but this matchup in particular is particularly juicy.
Do you think too many people are playing the Washington defense? Can Arizona do anything today, or is it really just going to be a disaster?
I am picking the defense against Arizona every single week this season. They are going to be an absolute train wreck. Give me whoever's playing Arizona. Unless if every single person who plays fantasy football is in on the Commanders today, then no, not enough people are in on the Commanders today, Eric.
And who do you suggest we throw in a flex spot that maybe people aren't thinking about, George?
So I've got a couple as well. First of all, I want to talk about a tight end. It's tight end Geddon already. Week one, everybody's out. And I've been saying it all off season. The Dallas Cowboys, and call me a homer if you want, but they produce a tight end one year after year after year after year. Jake Ferguson is going to get into the end zone today. Mark it down. And then as far as a flex play, I still think people are sleeping. And I'm sorry, Packers fans. I know you're not trying to hear this early in the morning, but I think Khalil Herbert is an absolute smash play this week. I'm not a big believer in DJ Moore. Look, Justin Fields is going to get some work with his legs, but we have seen Khalil Herbert at every opportunity he's been given absolutely smash, and I think he's going to tear it up all season long.
I love Khalil Herbert. I watch him play, and I say, that kid's a running back. It's like Sean Tucker in Tampa. I feel the same way. He's just shifty. He busts through the line. Matthew O'Day says Deion Jackson, Dalvin Cook, or Gabe Davis in the flex. What do you guys think?
Dalvin Cook.
Yeah, you think?
Yeah,
I'm going Cook.
He's not going to get all the work. I don't think this week. I think they start him slow, and Dalvin Cook gets the carries. I like it. America's team.
I'll say it right. America's team. Yeah.
Now it'll come as news to a lot of you that he's talking about the Miami Dolphins.
I'll tell you, hey Jay, listen to this. Miami was one of my top 5 picks for the contest this week.
Yep, that's going to be a great game.
Nothing but
we just
You're absolutely welcome, Matthew.
We confirmed Matthew's priors. Nothing better than that. Being told, yeah, you're right.
Y'all mark it down, though, man. Brandon Staley going to be the first NFL coach fired this year.
Ricky did say that yesterday. So if somebody said it last night, I was on with him yesterday morning when he said it.
That's right. That's right. I've been saying that for weeks now, man. I don't think that dude's the guy. The answer. I think he's a great coordinator. I don't think he's a great head coach. I think the Chargers are going to highly underperform this year, and I don't think it's going to take very long for them to get upset, especially all that stuff from the playoff game last year in their mind. He got a kind of a short leash, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think so. And you got Kellen Moore there,
Yeah.
he could easily step right into that interim role.
Coach in waiting.
They start scoring 42 points a game. You know,
They pretty much got like 2 interims waiting on the hill. The head coach Dewey, Stacy, and Kellen Moore, because that guy also,
Oh yeah,
Jordan can attest to that, right? Jordan?
Kellen Moore is garbage.
Yeah,
He is. I was going
Everybody
to say.
is about to see
Jordan
that
can attest to
Kellen
that.
Moore is not that dude. You guys are
Jordan,
going to just watch.
Jordan, everything they could do. They could go paint that field blue, and you ain't fucking making yardage, all right? And you're going to have to just to even make him comfortable. We watched him at Dallas. It was awful to watch.
They're so high. They're saying he's going to be the guy that's going to get Herbert, to that winning point where, he has all the numbers statistically, right? But hasn't done it yet, on the clutch.
Cliff
They're saying-
Kingsbury, the greatest
The fact-
fucking coach to ever fucking live.
The fact that I'm excited about Mike McCarthy calling offensive plays in 2023
That
tells you everything you need to
I
know
know.
about Kellen Moore.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's not saying much, right, bro? Because
That's bold, bro. You want Mike McCarthy over Kellen Moore calling? Man.
Oh, I'm a Cowboys fan, and I've
I
lived
know, I
the
was gonna say,
Kellen
that's
Moore
horse's
experience,
mouth,
and
man.
it was not a good time. Would not recommend.
Commissioner General Tua leading the American Revolution via Miami to Vegas.
Everybody who picked against Miami this morning on the TSS show got communist flags in their background. It was pretty great.
That's right.
John, what are you thinking? Who are you plugging into your flex spot this week?
Well, my team's stacked, so I feel pretty.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
solid, I'm not gonna lie. Let's look. Do you plug in a Nico Collins? Do you plug?
I like it.
But
Then I gotta swap out T. Higgins.
Ooh.
So I feel like I'm comfortable.
Wow.
I feel good.
There it is.
Sound great.
I'm also the least smart guy here when it comes to fantasy. I took a couple years off, and let me tell you something. You take a couple years off, there's a steep learning curve, and right now I'm just learning. So,
Do you know why there's a steep learning curve, John? Because the guys like that are on the stream
Yep.
right now, because they keep innovating and changing. And just until last year, until I met Jordan in person, he gave me a hug. All right, he gave me a bag full of goodies and said, "Stop drafting running backs.
Yep.
Fucker. Start drafting receivers."
Yep. And that's what he did. And we both evolved. Chris and I both started drafting a bunch of wide receivers.
Because of the expo, might I say. That would have never happened if I didn't actually meet you guys.
My favorite strategy ended up being the hero RB strategy, where you take one good running back early and then wait and take a bunch late. And that running back on most teams is Jahmyr Gibbs. So fingers crossed on that one.
Man, Jahmyr Gibbs,
good.
he looks so good. Like that guy is going to win
my
all
God.
the leagues this year.
don't get fooled by that David Montgomery sample size where they fed him the ball over and over. That's just like the first couple games. Dude, that guy catching it, running it, the explosiveness, that dude's going to be the man in that team. He's going to get all
100
Find an edge.
Yep.
Real
If the
100% reminded me of last year's Dallas Cowboys, where you have the fat, out of shape, burnt out running back that you keep pounding the ball with Zeke or Montgomery. But then you have the Pollard, which was the Jahmyr Gibbs that just looked freaking dynamic every
He
time
was so
touched
fun to
the ball.
watch.
Yeah.
He's
Really
so-
sucks he's in our fucking conference.
He's
if
so
the
incredible,
if the
man.
guy in your fantasy league is freaking out, if he's in the group
Get
chat
him.
complaining about Jahmyr Gibbs, go trade for his ass. You'll be
Absolutely,
glad
man.
you
Jahmyr
did
Gibbs,
that.
I got to see him in person last
Dude.
year when Alabama came to Knoxville, play my balls and stuff. Got to see him. It's a whole different level when you see them people in person, man. The quick as that dude is, the way he
Oh my
avoids
God.
hits in space, he's like an Alvin Kamara clone, man. I think they grew him in the same tube on Planet Nike.
Yep.
I have a guy in my $200 buying league. It's one of my bigger leagues. This guy drafted Jahmyr Gibbs and Bijan Robinson. He went
I did
rookie,
too, baby.
rookie
There you
running
go.
back.
Tear it up.
I was
Tear
like,
it
"Fuck
up."
that, bro. I guess, yep. He
Is that a
Rookie
Mighty
running
Ducks
backs.
jersey?
Huh?
Is that
I
a
took
Mighty
my-
Ducks jersey?
That is, bro. Charlie Conway, man, the captain.
Shut the fuck up.
That's right, bro.
Quack.
Where did you get that?
Quack.
Man,
Quack.
like I said, my boys. My boys live in Minneapolis, man, and I was a big time Mighty Ducks. You know, that was my
Oh,
heyday.
me
I was probably
too.
6, 7
Any
years
Gen
old when that
Xer
stuff came
is.
out. So, man, they got me this for my birthday last year, man. I think
That's
it's probably
cool.
one of the best gifts I've ever gotten, man.
I love that. Sorry.
Elio, what are you thinking for your low key flex spot?
You know, because I like to mess with Jordan most of the time. You know, it's my homeboy. I'm gonna go another pick on tight end, and I'll give you a flex. I like his Ferguson guy, but it's gonna take a little while. I think if you haven't picked up Tyler Higbee, who's available in most freaking
Facts.
right now waiver wires, probably not until today. You should be picking that guy up with Cooper Cup out the scene and a bunch of I like to use my favorite word, cab drivers and plumbers for wide receiver in that backfield of the Rams. I picked him up in one of the leagues. He was available. He seemed pretty available in the wire. That's a guy you want to pick up a tight end. I'm a guy, and Jordan and I have spoken about this each other. I don't pick tight ends in the draft until probably next to last pick before the defense and the kicker. That's what I do. Hate to waste those picks on other players. But my flex of the week that I'm into, and if you drafted him, I think this week is a great matchup. Save Flowers for the Ravens. Again, Bateman and Bateman. I think he's going to have a better year than OBJ, but it's a juicy matchup against Houston, and I think Zay Flowers showed the connection this preseason with Lamar. I think he's going to be the wide receiver one for that team shortly.
I've been looking at the past week ones trying to find some trends, and I noticed that Lamar has thrown the ball 30 times in week one every year in the last 4 or 5 years. And with Mark Andrews likely out, I think Zay Flowers could be a really, really good start today. What do you guys think about Taysom Hill? There's no Kamara, and now Kendre Miller has been ruled out. So it's just Jamal Williams back there. I think we could see some Taysom Hill hijinks.
It's just such a gamble, man. Though, like he might come out and give you 42 points, but he might hang a deuce on you too. He's the ultimate Swiss Army knife. You never know how they're going to use him, but they're probably going to have to use him, with Kamara being out and stuff. But I just don't know. It's too much of a gamble for me, man.
Cricket, to that point, I just want to say, that's exactly what you're going to get with every tight end that you put out there. Every one of them can hang up, 1 or 2 points on you. But that upside in that offense, I do think Taysom Hill is another really sneaky streaming option this morning.
I did scoop him in my dynasty league just to hold him for a little bit, just to see how they're going to use him. I'm not going to play him first couple weeks. I need to see some sample size, but I got him hiding down there just in case.
Master Bateman all damn day.
Day.
This guy.
You can't take him anywhere.
Adding to your Jamal Williams point, I mean, on DFS today, when I build my lineups, I'm going to have him on heavy based on the fact that backup running back is out. First game, Derek Carr. I think they're going to try to run the ball. I think just like last year, any red zone opportunities, they're going to run it first. And Jamal is, we know what he's done before in the past. Yeah. So DFS might be picking him up on a few lineups.
Speaking of DFS, do you believe Sean Payton when he says Jaleel McLaughlin or Jaleel something not going to work here anymore anyway? Is going to get a bunch of carries because.
So I want to comment to this guy.
What's his last name? I literally forgot.
McLaughlin. And PSR, they got to meet my buddy Travis Sumter, who is just a brilliant fantasy mind. And
he's a computer with legs.
He is. And one of the questions I asked him at the expo was, who is the guy that nobody is talking about that's going to make an appearance this season? And this is exactly who he named, way before he even hit the news. So because of that, I'm in on him. I don't know anything about him myself, but if Travis says it, I'm rolling with it.
That's not a bad policy to have.
Fair enough.
If Travis says it, roll with it. Well, shit, boys, we're at cruising altitude now. Put it on cruise control, confer with the people. Let's get these lineups sorted out. What kind of questions are you guys worried about this week in your fantasy lineups? I got a real tight end conundrum with Darren Waller here. I picked up Taysom Hill. I'm thinking about what if he doesn't play? Do I just pick up Dan Bellinger?
I say likely should be available. I mean, after announcing Mark Andrews not playing, right?
Well, the problem is the Cowboys play. The Cowboys-Giants play tonight, and so I do think I think you have Bellinger waiting in the wings, but I just don't think you can go away from the upside of Waller in that matchup. And I think Bellinger's going to be just as good as any of those streaming options you have out there anyway.
Yeah.
Unless
Bellinger.
Higbee's available, go get Higbee.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Bellinger, aka Latimer from the program. You seen that guy?
Love the program, bro. Latimer.
He reminds me of Latimer,
awesome.
bro. Remember Latimer, the big dude, the guy that came from special
Raging all
teams
the
all of a
time.
sudden with the droids and shit. He looked huge. That's how Bellinger looked early on in camp this season.
Yeah,
I'm like, he's got to get tested. He should.
Absolutely.
And the other thing there, Eric, is, they play the Cowboys. So my boy Jake Ferguson, I guarantee you he's sitting out there on the waiver wires as well. So you got options with Darren Waller.
Okay.
Yeah, that's true. That's
Whack
true.
is throwing 2 picks today. Sorry.
And the Cowboys are still winning by 21.
Nah, that ain't going to happen. That's 21.
That's a solid Sunday night game, though.
Yeah.
We got some great games this week.
Yep.
They started on fire. The NFL schedule, man. Thursday was a great night game, right, to start the season. Then we got a great Sunday night. These primetime games. And then Monday, I mean, Jets and Bills.
Well, they were so bad with the primetime games last year. By the time they picked it up a little bit for us, man, I think we had like 7 Thursday night games in a row or something with losing records in there.
Yeah, Thursday was terrible last season.
They need to flex that damn Thursday game too, man, and just kind of
absolutely.
Yeah,
it's just hard to do with the short weeks. They're like, hey, let's play on Sunday, man. You got to show up on Thursday. Let's go.
Yeah, player safety and all. Let's go overseas. At least they get a week off after they play overseas.
Yeah.
But
all right, I got a question for the gang.
What do you got?
As the resident student, I got Josh Jacobs. We all know that saga. How much do you think he's going to have a little bit of rust going into week 1?
I think the hamstring is a thing. Jordan's shaking his head. He's not worried. I'm a little worried about anybody who doesn't participate in camp.
Me too.
I think Josh Jacobs is just a freak, though, man. He got paid now. All that stuff's behind him. He's going to come out with something to prove, a little chip on his shoulder. I don't know what I'm going to get out of Jimmy Garoppolo, so I think they're going to have to establish that run. I mean, this guy led the league in rushing last year. I think he's going to catch a few balls out of the backfield. I think Josh Jacobs is going to be just fine.
And for whatever reason, the Broncos really struggled with Las Vegas last year. Don't ask me why, but that was a thing. And,
the Broncos have never beaten the Raiders since they moved to Las Vegas. The Raiders are 6-0 against the Broncos since moving to Las Vegas.
Is it Josh Jacobs or is it Las Vegas?
Hey,
I think it's the Broncos.
That's more what it is.
I mean, I'll be more worried of starting
in history.
I'll be more worried between Bryce Hall and Jacobs. You go for Jacobs. I mean, I'll be more worried about starting Bryce Hall than anybody else because his injury is a lot more.
I agree.
Yeah, it was worse, and it's going to be longer. It's easier. It's going to be slower to get off and get into kind of like game shape.
And Brees Hall going to be splitting carries with Dalvin Cook, so you don't know what he's going to get really there.
I'm going to tell you right now, kind of to the same Jahmyr Gibbs point earlier, I'm ready for Brees Hall not to do anything today, and I'm ready for everybody who drafted him to panic and trade me him so I can ride that ass all throughout the second half of the season.
That's right.
Look, the New York Jets are trying to recreate what the Green Bay Packers have done, and I do not see a world where Brees Hall is not the Aaron Jones in this offense in the latter half of this season. So when Brees starts slow this week, guys, don't panic on him.
To that point, Jordan, if Brees Hall didn't get hurt last year, Dalvin Cook would not be in that team.
Yeah.
That's the bottom line.
Brees Hall doesn't get hurt last year. He's arguably the number 1 overall pick in fantasy drafts this year.
Yep.
I love that. That's a great analogy, though. Aaron Jones, man. Aaron Jones back in the day, and that's solid, man. I like that.
Hey, Aaron Jones, I got him heavy in a lot of my leagues, man, because he has such great value.
The Green Bay Packers Northeast.
Gosh.
He fell way too far in drafts.
I fucking feasted on, and I'm in like 6 different leagues.
It's like everybody's forgot about him, man.
Yeah,
like he just fell off. The man ain't fell off at all. He's had a little injury bugs here and there, but he ain't ever missed more than a couple games at a time.
Yeah,
I love Aaron Jones, man.
Yeah.
So if I've got Nick Chubb, I've got Josh Jacobs, I've got Devin Singletary, and I've got Brees Hall. You think I got value at running back that I should be selling here pretty soon?
I think we should talk about the people in your league and who the fuck.
I mean, dude, you playing with 5 teams or what?
Yeah, I started to see how many people in this league. You and your buddy.
I gave him Chubb, I think, for either Pickett in a first or Olave in a first.
I was gonna ask, like, how rough is that wide receiver room?
Yeah.
There's got to be a hint to that.
Yeah, there is.
The cab drives and plumbers, man.
Yeah, there
he did win the league last year.
No, I got stacked. I got Higgins, Waddle, Tyreek Hill.
Wow,
I'm pretty good.
And
I got Hopkins.
All right,
your league.
He started Waddle and Tyreek every week last year and won the league. He took over an orphan team that someone abandoned and just
And I said, what the hell?
Okay.
What is this?
Hey, that's a great team, but it says a lot. It says a lot about the drafting of the other team members in that league, right?
Hey,
come on, Eric and Chris.
Y'all got an open spot in this league for next year, man. I'm gonna climb in.
Yeah.
I may have gone too young in that league. I got Bijan. Now I'm stuck with AJ Dillon as my RB2 this week. But then I have Olave, Metcalf, Pickens, Elijah Moore. I got all these young wide receivers. I also traded for Juju a couple weeks ago. And then we got the news that his knee, quote, could explode at any moment.
Yeah.
That's not really a guy you want on a long-term team.
It's the only thing that's explosive about the Patriots offense, is what I read.
His knee.
Oh, wow. I like George Pickens, man. That's one of my guys that sneaky little flex right there. I think you're going to hear Pickett to Pickens a lot this year, man. I love George Pickens. I like Samaje Perine, man. Out there running
Samaje.
Yeah.
I think that they're not going to put too much on Javonte Williams coming back from that ACL. I think Samaje going to get some carries. Been in Joe Mixon's shadow for a little while now. I think Samaje going to have a big year, man. Somebody keep an eye out for.
Yeah, he proved last year he can catch the ball a little bit. So.
Yeah, and you see what Sean Payton does. I mean, with two running backs, he uses the running back to a nice extent. You know what I mean? Kamara, I forget what the other guy was. Ingram. There we go. You know, those two. That was just classic. I mean, they were both getting a lot of touches in his schemes. And P-Rock can catch the ball as well. So you know, he's going to have him in there in third downs. You know, trying to hopefully a security blanket for Russ the bust. And we'll see.
And like I said, Javonte Williams, man, that just saves some miles on them legs. This guy's still their first-round draft pick from a couple years ago. Come back off that ACL, man. You don't want to be piling making him a 3-down back. You need a 1-2 punch there, and I think that helps him out as much as anybody.
Exactly. And a PSA, to be clear, everyone is welcome here. We love everybody here except flies. We have 2 flies in here that are getting the high electric I don't know. Chris is waving around an electrified fly swatter over there. So he's not messing around.
Here in Florida, you got to have one of those if you live here, dude. I mean, you step outside in the summer. That's as good as a handgun.
He's going full tail dribble here with.
You gotta cap in somebody's ass. You know what I'm saying? With one of those, bro.
That's Angela's got a solid strategy when drafting her team this year. She asked herself WWJD, but not Jesus, Jordan. What would Jordan do? And then she did that.
I asked myself, what would Jesus do? But I look at fantasy Jesus myself. So,
hey, how is fantasy Jesus this morning? Did you see him?
Oh, he's great. I attended mass. He's in freaking mid-season form already. It was a great time. Yeah,
I love it.
Mass, that's fantastic. Well, should we talk about some of these lines, Cricket?
Let's go.
I love
this
that.
Washington Commanders Arizona Cardinals game has been at -7. I got it at like -5.5 a month ago or something like that. It's been at -7 all week. You know, people are hammering Washington, and yet it's not moving to 7.5. It's starting to feel like a trap. It's starting to feel like they want me to lay the 7 points with Washington.
I tell you, man, my guy Will, game on, man. He's got the Cardinals in like a couple of his survivor pools. Now, he probably just wanted to rebuy, but if he does find a way to win that thing, he'll be set up real nice. He's been heavy on these Cardinals for a couple of weeks now. I don't know, man. I'm avoiding this game like the plague.
Me too.
I don't know what's going on here. I'm going to sit back. I'm probably going to try to avoid most Commanders games this year because you don't know what. Every time I bet on or against them, then they find a way to beat me. So they go on the no bet list for a little while. Yep. I just think this game, man, I don't know. Unless you're just bored, I'd leave this one alone.
Unless you're just bored.
Will you touch the over-under on that one? I mean,
if I do, I'm going way under. What is it?
37.5?
37.5? That's a preseason total.
37.5? I don't know. That's the only way I would touch this game. Maybe. I mean, I haven't bet. I got a 4-team parlay I'll share with everybody, in the show if we got to do picks and stuff like that. But, yeah, I mean, that's.
Oh, we are.
Yeah.
We are.
I got a rule with totals, man. If it's under 40 in the NFL, there ain't no way I'm touching that over. If I can't bet that under, I ain't going with nothing.
I'm the opposite. I bet overs like crazy, dude. I hate betting unders.
Surely they can score 5 touchdowns.
I'm not a bet an under guy, but because every time I get burned when I throw that, one of the over unders in there, and then damn, I go, I do a 3-pick parlay. All my teams hit lines and fucking money line, and all of a sudden here comes the over and under busting.
It's like leaving a putt short. It doesn't feel good, even if you're closer that way. It's just, gosh.
Yeah.
It happened to me yesterday with Iowa and Iowa State. I don't know why I went that route. It was 35 and a half. They scored 33. I'm like, you son of bitches.
So I
And
actually
everything
bet
else.
one under this week. I bet Niners Steelers under 41.5.
Ooh,
I think
like
that might be a
It's
slugfest. Might be a little bit ugly.
Yeah, there's supposed to be some weather happening in that game too, so I
Ooh.
like that a lot.
George Kittle, unlikely to play. I don't know. A game time decision. Maybe he'll get out there, but he's not going to be an effective pass blocker or pass catcher. So, yeah, it's going to be an ugly game. Did you know they're calling Kenny Pickett Big Ken in the locker room now? So I don't know.
Wow.
Maybe Pittsburgh lights it up. Maybe he's got the respect back there, and he's just going to chuck the football.
Let's just hope he doesn't turn into Big Pick.
That's old Tiny Hands, man. I love Tiny Hands up there in Pittsburgh, man. He gonna have a big year, I'm telling you. Big Ken.
Yeah, ironic nickname. All right.
I hope he breaks out the fake slide on these guys at least once.
That still pisses me off thinking about him doing
they
that.
made a rule for him, man. You gotta love that. That was a great play, man.
It was.
It was.
I remember watching that live, just being like, this guy has just rechanged the game, man.
I feel like if you try that in the NFL, though, you're going to get your fucking head knocked
Yeah.
off. Like, you get
Be
one
careful.
shot at that, that's it.
Yeah, I wouldn't go toward Nick Bosa like that, man. I'm just saying. There's some guys out there, you better watch out doing some stuff like that.
The next time you slide, you're going to get debacled. My favorite total is over 45.5 in this Tampa-Minnesota game. I think we could see 52 points in that game, at least. There's not a lot of defenses, a lot of throwing the ball. I think Baker's going to come out with the chip on the shoulder. I'll show you guys. Mike Evans, a little angry about not getting paid. We'll see how that plays out.
Y'all got a whole lot of faith in my Buccaneers. I done told you, I've been a Buccaneers fan since I was a kid. I'm going to be pissed off every single game we win this year because I need Caleb Williams or Drake May. I need my quarterback of the future, and that's what I want. That's it.
I think Tampa Bay is going to be – I don't want to say they're going to be good, but I think they're going to be better than what people think they are. I think they're a little bit sneaky. And look, Minnesota last year was terrible on the defensive side of the ball. They allowed 4.7 scoring plays per game, which led the league. And outside of the Lions, they gave up the most yards per drive with 34.4. Baker has some weapons here. Tampa Bay is going to be able to score in this game. I don't know if they'll win it, but I love that over there as well.
We're probably gonna be just good enough to go 7-10 and get about the 11th pick, so we can draft another fucking defensive tackle or something.
Yeah, well, 7-10 might win that division. So
that's true. Yeah. That is true. We might get a playoff spot with that.
That might win that division.
You're sleeping on those Saints, Elio. Look at that schedule,
they're good.
baby.
Well, they're gonna look at 8 games. But honestly,
Yep.
with Baker, I don't think they're gonna let Baker go run wild, man. I think they're gonna try to be making sure he's a good game manager and not kind of turn the ball over. I don't think they're gonna let him sling it and wing it out there, man.
Yeah, he ain't that guy.
Nah, I don't know, man. I mean, based on the sample size,
Jameis Winston ain't walking through that door today.
maybe he should. All right,
yeah,
he should.
So you got his cell number, man.
Yeah, maybe he should.
What do you guys think about this? Towards the end of the show, we'll take our 5 favorite picks and put them in a parlay and call it the Ridley in honor of our friend Calvin Ridley. He couldn't stop with the 5-team parlays and got himself suspended for a year.
I hope he wins comeback player of the year, man.
Me too, man.
Fantastic.
Over that bullshit betting $25. Like that man gives a shit about a $25, $35 parlay. Come on now. Man lost a year of his career. Get out of here with that shit.
Yeah. I think
Here's DeMar Hamlin almost died. He's not winning comeback player of the year.
Nah.
I think everybody's just chalked it up. They're going to give him that no matter what. If he goes out there and he's on the field, and maybe you should, but I still think the guy should have to have a decent season. He can't just go out there and fill a spot and all that. You got to give respect to all these other guys that have battled back through things too. I know the DeMar Hamlin situation. I'm all about it, but I'm just saying you can't just give the man the award.
No,
the man died in front of all of us. Give him the fucking award. It's the least you can do.
He already won his award, man. He won the award of life.
He's got the Lazarus award, raised from the grave.
Yep.
I feel bad for John Mechie, who beat fucking leukemia in the offseason. And
Nobody gives a shit.
Footballs. Man, he would be a shoo-in if not for the DeMar Hamlin situation.
Maybe they come up with a new
I don't know,
category.
man. I think Calvin Ridley's got his work cut out for him. I think you're going to need 2,500 receiving yards.
I hope he gets it. I hope he gets.
Hey, offensively, that team looks really, really good. You know what I
Yeah, they
mean?
do.
I mean, great. You know, I still got my doubts about ATN. I mean, he's a big game explosive kind of dependent on, but I like the rookie they drafted in Tank Bixby.
Yeah, Tank Bixby.
And I think he's going to see a lot of red zone work. But you know, with the wide receivers, I mean, they look good. They added pieces to just kind of win. And it should be their division to lose.
Man,
I think two teams we need to switch our perspective on, or at least I do, is Jacksonville and Detroit. These are good football teams now.
Yeah.
And I need to get that in my head. And
Detroit impressed me,
stop
man.
betting against them.
That's fair. That's fair. Man, I really like the tight end down in Jacksonville, too. I really like Evan Ingram, man.
Yeah.
I like what he
Oh,
did
fuck
on
Evan
the
Ingram.
stretch last year. I think he's another tight end. You kind of look, he probably is not available in a lot of leagues, but if he is and you got some of those Travis Kelce, Mark Andrews problems, man, Evan Ingram's a guy to be eyeing.
I hate that bastard, dude. He didn't do
You hate
shit
him?
with us. He
Oh,
dropped
yeah, you're
everything that went his
not
way.
fan.
I mean, he freaking couldn't block. And then he goes over there and gets you. Like, F that guy, man.
Let me be clear. I hated Evan Ingram at the Giants, too, man. I'm a big fan of him with the Jaguars.
No, you know, you're talking about tight ends. I was impressed with Laporta, which everybody was high on him. He looked good, man. I mean,
did.
the dude.
I think you're going to see similar usage with Luke Musgrave today. The rookie tight end is going to get a bunch of targets.
Where'd he go? Michigan? And he out of Michigan? Musgrave, or was that Oregon State?
Oregon State.
Oregon State,
okay, yeah.
Croft went to not Michigan. I don't remember.
Schumacher went to Michigan.
Tight
Yeah,
end.
Shoemaker went to
Schumacher,
Michigan, and he ain't gonna see nothing today.
No, yeah.
Tight end apocalypse already. And what's all these guys they're physical freaks. They're giant. They're faster than anybody should be at that size. They can jump 50 inches in the air, and still only 4 or 5 of them end up being worth starting in your fantasy lineups.
And every single one of them are questionable this week.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Is like if you want a good tight end, you got to try to take one kind of high with the Kelce's and Andrews stuff like that. But if you did it this year, it bit you in the ass.
Right out of the gate.
Back trying to pick up Jake Ferguson, all this stuff, man. So it's just
It's the reason why I draft those guys really, really late when I do fantasy football, man.
Right.
Listen, I'm going to tell you this, Elio. I hear you there, but I watched the Kansas City Chiefs play football on Thursday, and Travis Kelce is going to get 1 million targets a game. He is the only show in town. I am thrilled about it. Look, let him sit out 3 weeks. Travis Kelce's still going to be a wide receiver 1 in production. They are going to give him everything.
Listen, I drafted 11 and 12 in like 5 out of the 6 leagues. That was pretty much what I which I love those late picks.
I love that.
Kelce was so gone. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
And every single one of them, I was like, yeah, all right, there you go.
I feel like his ADP was
That's
about
awesome.
6 around that.
I see Chase Young listed out. I'm looking at these injury reports. That could be why the line hasn't moved on that Commanders Cardinals game.
They're going to destroy him anyway. I mean,
and were we really like surprised that Chase Young is missing another game? Like it's what he does.
Has he played since he was at Ohio State?
Yeah, barely.
He's a classic what if player.
That's true. He's one of those.
What's he out with?
I don't know, man. Commanders got bigger problems than Chase Young.
Let's see. He is out with a neck. So have fun with that.
Sounds like something if you just don't want to play.
I need a neck out of me.
Yeah.
Away from me,
my neck, my back.
Yeah. Who's going to question you if you say you got a neck injury too? Like, oh, you can't go out there and bang your head around against stuff. So yeah, I'll just hang out this week.
Exactly. It's like a hamstring. You can't prove or disprove it. So
that's right. It's true.
Pay me.
You know who would question it though, Cricket? The Miami Dolphins medical team. They'll roll anybody out.
Absolutely, yeah. Tua couldn't even stand up, man. They're like, hey man, get back in there. Go, bro.
Rub some dirt on it, you pussy.
Yeah.
Come on.
Should have buffed out.
Hey, how about just Tua, all the fucking martial arts he picked up this offseason and it's got to help him fall? I mean, because that was the big.
I am ready for Karate Tua myself. I am all about it. My chips are in. Let's go. Karate
Tua.
Holy crap, dude.
Tua's got to understand the size of these guys chasing them and stuff out there, man. Like you said, get down, bro. Slide.
Tua-jitsu.
I like that.
I mean, he's going to have to like tuck and roll or something like that, man. I mean, he needs to chill.
Totally changing one of my fantasy football names to Tua-jitsu. That's awesome.
Imagine doing all that and still get called fat.
Yep.
That's some ESPN jerk off.
Yeah. Some dude sitting there that 45 pounds overweight and they're giving you shit.
Yeah.
I'm not in love with Jameer a minute. Maybe I'll change Jameer a minute to a
That's pretty
Tybo.
good too, man.
Or
I roll with I'm so Hyatt in one of my leagues, man.
Hey, there you go. Hey,
Jalen Hyatt. That's a sneaky flex start.
That's my guy, man. That's my guy.
hey, man, I like Jalen Hyatt.
That kid was.
I love him,
up.
bro. I think he's going to be sneaky good this year. Stash him. He's only be projected about 2-3 points right now. But give it a couple weeks, man. Jalen Hyatt's going to work his way into some volume in that offense.
Great stash. He doesn't have a ton of people. There's not a lot of talent in front of him.
Yeah, the problem is there's not a lot of talent throwing him the ball either. I just don't. I don't want any Giants pass catchers.
Listen, bro. Hey,
sorry, Elio. I'm just
gonna change that this year, man. He's again. We said that you and I went on our show. Danny Dom's gonna have less picks than that press conference.
Yeah, but when you only throw for 2,800 yards in a season, you're not gonna throw
4,000 yards.
Interception.
4,000 yards.
4,000
yards this year.
But he barely has 800.
He barely has 4,000 yards passing for his entire career. Elio.
Hey, 4,000 yards this year, man. All right.
He may rush for the 700 yards.
That's what I'm saying. He can give you that too. He got paid, man. He's ready to go now.
He did. He got paid, and
we got help in the outside, bro.
Right?
That's right.
That's what Jaleel Hyatt comes in. We drafted him just because he's going to be taking those long ones, man. All right.
I fell for it. Right? I fell for it last year with Wan'Dale Robinson. I fell for it the year before with Kadarius Toney. I'm not falling for it again. Damn it! I won't. Do it.
I'm not falling for the wide receiver in the tailpipe again.
You fell in for Kenny Golladay, bro. All right, the biggest thief in the world in the history of contracts, dude. I mean,
he should go to jail for robbery. Or at least embezzlement or fraud.
Yeah.
So there's got to be something you can get him on.
And, and the GM should freaking go to jail for freaking embezzlement or money laundering because that was just a complete bullshit move there, man. And when you're like giving that guy that much money.
Where's Fannie Willis when you need her? There's some Rico shit going on in the NFL.
That's right.
Whatever happens to a contractor who takes the money and doesn't do the job, that's what should happen to Kenny Golladay.
Oh, absolutely, man.
Man, rolled up into a rug and thrown in the East River there in New York. Contractors.
Nobody has heard from him. All right, so it's been a while. I mean, he's out of the game, right? Is he playing for anybody?
He started a flag
no
football
longer on the
team
Giants roster.
No, I mean he's no longer on any roster. I think, right? Is Kenny Golladay?
He started a flag football team at his local church back in June. Man, they are actually picked to win the league. It's all right.
All right.
You know what Harbaugh is doing during his suspension? I saw him working the chains at a youth football game yesterday.
Hey, worst places to be.
He had the first down marker. He was standing on the sideline, just fired up,
chilling,
looking like an asshole.
Hey, look,
you got some 7-year-old kid, and Harbaugh's just in his ass over there because he dropped the pass.
Big glass of milk.
He's out there recruiting, man. That's what he's doing. He's recruiting,
bro. It worked for Sean Payton, right? You know what I'm saying?
That's fair.
It worked for Sean Payton, man. And this is his thing, man. It just gives you some good PR, and it makes you get back and get humbled, I guess. Right?
No such thing as bad pub, man.
Yeah,
it's not a bad way to clean up the image, helping the kids. Everybody loves that. Yeah. Last thing on Hyatt, I think you can't draw a ton from preseason football, but that kid was getting open and he was burning cornerbacks, and that translates to the regular season regardless. Tua Kwando.
That's a good one too, man. Oh, that's better than Tua Jitsu.
Yeah.
God, I love that,
Tua
man.
Kwando.
I wish we had done this show before I picked all my fantasy football names. So I'd be the biggest guy in the league, man.
Hey, write that down for next year. We have to have an official pick'em show, like a pick'em's draft.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah, when it comes to name, I have a theory which I've been working now, and it's been successful. I try to change my name weekly depending on who I'm playing, and I try to bash the.
I like that too, man.
Oh.
I got this week in one of my leagues. I got a guy named I'm playing Grey Goose, right? So I put down Tito's over Grey Goose. It's like one of the games, stuff like that. I do
a little trash talk.
Yeah, exactly. So
you were doing that in the
trenches, yeah.
Yeah, I did that too, right? You did it, right?
Yeah.
Man, did I do that in the trenches too? I don't remember.
You did, yeah. You definitely did.
All right, yeah.
Yeah, because that sounds familiar to me.
It's a thing, bro. It's a thing. It worked for me in the last 3 years.
Man, I think my favorite fantasy football team name of all time is Somewhere Over Dwayne Bowe. I just think that's fucking awesome, man. My buddy last year was the Kittle engine that could.
That's a good one.
I like to go after any players who have broken laws or something in the offseason.
Yeah.
Like when Tyreek's 3-year-old came up with a broken arm. I think I had chest punch daycare and Iron Man boxing school because he said the kid wanted to be Iron Man or something, and that's how it happened. Cricket's disgusted.
Yeah, Tyreek was testing that theory.
Yeah. Damn. Stay out of the marina, man.
Yep. Or I'll just do a team and call it suspended defendants and only draft guys who have run afoul of the law or been suspended.
Or played for the Las Vegas Raiders.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good enough. That qualifies you.
Hey,
What do you guys think about this divisional Atlanta-Carolina game? -3.5, the Falcons at home.
Bet it if you hate money.
Feels like a field goal game.
Man, that division gonna be so bad. Like I say, you're flipping a coin. I don't know what you're gonna get. What do you have more faith in, the Bryce Young led Panthers or the Desmond Ritter led Falcons? I guess you got to go with Bijan. He's gonna get his carries.
Yeah, that's where I go. I'm going with the surrounding cast. You know what I mean?
But they don't use them the right way. Kyle Pitts has been in fantasy hell for years. I'm never drafting that fucking guy again because the
Oh my God,
don't know how to use him, man.
You are right,
Poor Eric.
Cricket. However, the one thing that team can do is run the ball.
Yeah.
They've done it well every year. They made Cordell
Patterson
relevant. They made Tyler Algier good. Now they actually have a talented running back, and it's over. Like, he is gonna absolutely rake in that offense. I think.
And I'm usually a little careful for these rookie running backs with so much hype coming in because it's like, man, can he live up to this? I think Bijan's that guy, man.
Yeah,
I think he can do it.
Bijan is Saquon 2.0. Put it that way, bro.
I think it'd be better, man.
Yeah, better. That's what I'm saying. 2.0, better than Saquon.
Yep.
I've been drafting him as if he is Saquon Barkley from a few years ago. So hopefully he is.
I took him number 3 overall in one thing, so I need him to do something. Just have a pulse, bro.
I will say this though, Carolina does have a little bit of a sneaky run defense that's pretty solid. I don't think it'll limit him, but keep that in mind at least.
Ryan Burns actually going to play for the Panthers. He had some of that questionable stuff coming in, but one of their big defensive linemen, he actually is going to play, so that helps.
But
he is.
Yeah, he could debut against worse defenses, right? I think it's a really good opening game for him to have a decent showing for his first NFL game.
Yeah, get it at home too, in front of your crowd and stuff like that. So yeah, I mean, if you're going to lean away in this game, this is another one I'm avoiding. But if I'm going to lean one way, I'm going to lean toward the Falcons. Probably by the hook down to a field goal just in case. But
Bengals and Browns down to 1.5 now. Browns plus 1.5. I still like the Browns. I think the Browns win that football game. The Bengals have shown me that they start slow. Joe Burrow always likes to have an appendectomy or a pulled calf or a broken this or that before the season. So
hates camp.
Yeah, hates camp. Does anything he can to get out of it. Like, organ I don't need, take it out. That'll give me 3-4 weeks.
The action, I'm looking at my my source here. The action is heavy on the spread on the Browns on this one.
Oh, no.
I like Browns money line.
Yeah. Right now the money line is I'm looking at about the money line is about 58% for the Bengals, but the spread I'm looking at about 64% for Cleveland right now for that 1.5.
And I like being against that public, man. I don't like really being with that public all that much. There's a reason Vegas looks like it does, man. That place wasn't built on winners.
No. It's
anytime
I like to use that as go ahead.
A tweet out there that says 85% of the money is on whatever team, you just automatically take the other side.
That's right.
Those don't win.
Well, that's the reason why I look at it. Sometimes it makes sense because it's just obvious, and then sometimes it doesn't make any sense, so you're gonna go the other way. So,
and if I have any question at all, I'm going the other way because there's something there that I'm not seeing or somebody's not seeing, and you got to look between the lines sometimes.
Hey, you know what? That's what the book did that last night. So Alabama, Texas. They gave Alabama points, and all of my buddies just texting me all day. Free money, coach from our podcast. He went all in on it, and I was like, I don't know, man. I don't know.
I drink that Kool-Aid, bro.
Sarkisian, he's different. Texas can recruit. They have so much goddamn money at that school. They just had a string of bad coaches, and I think that they're better than what people are telling.
I hope you're right, and I'm finally, as a Longhorn fan, starting to buy in on that just a little
Hey,
bit.
good for you, man.
He's finally coming out.
Night. Every time it seems like Texas is back, right? Texas, here we are.
Every year.
Every time
number
they get
one
smacked
recruiting
in the
class,
mouth
number
and
one everything.
embarrassed.
I'm a Tennessee fan, bro. I get it. I know what that feels like.
Yep.
Every year's our year too, man. I know how it goes.
I hate the Longhorns. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm an Oklahoma State fan, but I watched them last night, and I was like, that's the old Longhorns that just used to shred the 12.
We coming.
You know, it's funny. Unlike all y'all, man, I didn't give a fuck about college football growing up as a kid because there's no good teams in the Northeast in New York. Right? I mean, Syracuse, that's it. When I moved down to Florida 19 years ago, I'm like, what the hell is going on here? I mean, it's like everybody's like, on Saturday, everything's shut down. I'm like, what, dude, it's Saturday. Tomorrow's the NFL, right?
You get down here, here in the South, man. It's over on college football Saturday.
Yeah, nobody gives a shit about Sunday down here.
No,
it's all Saturday.
Whoa. I'm like, my buddy's like, hey, yo, we're going to the Yale House, man. We got to go watch some games. Bro, it's fucking Saturday. What do you baseball? No. It's college football just starting. Who watches that shit? And you go in there, and it's like nothing but like down here in South Florida, UF, FSU, even UCF. I'm like, what the hell is going on? Now, great talent when it came to the chicks because the chicks all watch college football. So as a single male,
that's right.
Got in my 20s. Your boy was going in there. Yeah, let's go, Team Tebow.
Love Team Tebow, he said.
Absolutely.
That was me, man.
Did you take a knee, man, and just give him the whole?
Oh, dude, yeah. Hey, when he said that shit, I'm Catholic. All right, I believe in the same thing. So, ladies,
come on, bring it in.
Let's go, baby. Let's go. The faith is strong.
Yeah, that just seems foreign to me. Up here in Wisconsin, we move church services around Packer games.
That's because your
in
team
the playoffs,
can't beat
they'll put
Washington
church early or late, depending on when the Packer game is going to be. There's no Badger game that really gets big enough where you go outside and like nobody's outside because they're all inside.
That's
watching
because Wisconsin can't beat Washington State.
Oh,
sorry.
Oh.
Too soon.
No, dude, that was pathetic.
I mean, what are we
years in a
doing?
row, bro?
Yeah, I took the Braylon Allen rushing yards, and boy, he didn't get them. He got them for me last week. I still think that kid's going to be a good NFL player.
I do too. He's a stud.
There's going to be some players out of that Colorado team, bro. They got to get drafted. Like all of a sudden, nobody knew who the hell they were. And all of a sudden, they're going out in like the second round. You know what I mean, man? It's.
I ain't never seen.
It's exciting.
Travis Hunter's doing, dude.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's nuts.
It's exciting.
He had like 127 snaps yesterday, like 145 or something last week.
He led all players
crazy,
the week
man.
before.
What do you think the NFL does with that kid? Do they let him play both ways in limited packages, or make him choose?
I think
or
he
choose
goes
for it.
I think he goes into the NFL as a corner prospect, and I think he'll have some plays designed on offense, but there is no way he can keep this up on the next level. Even though I if you had asked me coming into the season, I'd say there's no way he could do it at this level.
Yeah,
right?
Division
But,
One.
You know,
but give it a couple weeks.
I was going to say, let's don't get crazy. We are only 2 weeks, and he played a lackluster TCU team, and Nebraska's in shambles. So let's not get too ahead of ourselves. But it'll probably like his coach was in the league, man. They'll mix him in there on offense just a little bit, but he's going to be a DB in the NFL.
I'll tell you what.
Return punts.
These boys are running through a brick wall for Deion Sanders. So whatever he's got, whatever juice he's selling in that locker room, it fucking works.
Might as well put in the bet right now for Deion.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, like me and John were talking about yesterday. These kids, if they're highly motivated and they believe they're the best, that goes a long way in college football.
Well, think about this, right? Deion has done right by them.
Absolutely.
Yes. After he got his job in Colorado, he took his guys, the ones that he brought into Jackson State, and said, guys, I'm going to get you more money through the NIL deals, and I'm bringing you with Colorado. He brought everybody on his main dog. So it's a thing of like, look, I'm going to take you out from where you are, right? I'm going to bring you here. I'm going to make your life better. That's what he's using. When he's talking to these kids' parents, right, in the inner city, because none of these kids are from like the suburbs, okay? They're not coming from like, a prestigious, middle class, upper middle class home. Let's get this real. He's telling his parents, especially now with NIL, he's going to get money. He's going to get taken care of. I'm going to get him to the NFL. And if you want him to get a degree, I'll get him a degree as well. But that's what he's preaching, and he just proved that he took a lot of these guys that he probably promised that when he sat down at that kitchen table. Boom, he's took them with him. So that's one thing. I think there's a thing about loyalty that he infuses in him. He cares because Deion had his own trials, and he just has all the right tools. A great motivator, man. That guy is Unreal.
Great motivator.
I'll tell you what about Dion though. Also, when he sits down, and if we're all being honest, he's sitting down in some single parent homes, okay, where it's just
Absolutely.
a mother.
Yeah,
And
for sure.
Dion has the experience. He has been there. He has been drugged through the fucking through the mud. I'm sure. Like he's seen bad deals, he's seen good deals. He's been around. He is a wealth of knowledge when he sits down in front of a single mother or parents, single dad or two parents. Just like I got him. I've been there. I know what not to do, and I know what to look out for. And that's coming from real experience because I mean, this guy was highly sought after. I'm sure he was used and abused when he was young.
Oh yeah, man. And if you're a top high school recruit, man, and Deion Sanders walks into your kitchen
Oh my
table,
God! Then there's that.
just so you say you're not going to listen to what the man's got to say. And you look at Travis Hunter, man. Travis Hunter was a number 1 overall player in a lot of recruiting service. Number 2, he was never lower than number 2 in any recruiting service. And that's overall player coming out of high school. Was the first 5-star to ever commit to an FCS school or whatever in Jackson State.
Yep.
But showed a lot of loyalty to Deion there. And then when Deion left, I like seeing him kind of take him with him and all that stuff. And it's going to work out for both of them, I think.
Yeah.
Can you argue Deion's work ethic? He went pro in 2 sports at the same time. You can't argue.
It was
And
really
excel.
good at both.
He was good at both.
Really good.
He was in the
work ethic.
playoffs in both sports, wasn't he? With the Falcons.
Yeah,
and
when
Braves?
Tim McCarver called him selfish.
Yeah, because he played a
Fuck
game,
him.
took a plane, and came back on Sunday night and played against the Toronto Blue Jays. And I remember that game. I think he went like 2 for 3 or something. He still had he was limping out there. Yeah, making freaking catches off the wall
The
and shit
best
like that.
player
And
on the
McCarver
field.
is calling him selfish.
I think he returned a punt for a touchdown in the football game too.
I think he did too.
That's
I mean,
exactly right.
And
There's a picture of that.
Yeah, and let's not get it twisted, man. Deion's been doing all this stuff with very below average health and all the stuff he's been dealing with his foot and all that. So he's been doing all this with all that on the table too, man. That tells me a lot about the man. I just
Exactly.
Coach
Work
Brown's my guy.
I respect a work ethic, and that is a work ethic. And he's had that since he was a kid because you don't go that far. There's zero chance. Zero.
Absolutely.
And he's a guy who means what he says and fulfills his word. And next year, when he goes into these locker rooms, into these homes to recruit, it's going to be even easier because you're going to have this record and this past season. Like, look at what we're doing here. Like, I know it sounds crazy, but it's real. And it's
week 2 and in Boulder, they stormed the field last night. Like,
they've already
it's
won more
happening.
games this year than they did all of last season.
Yeah.
Like,
Listen, the last time somebody stormed something in Colorado was during the Black Lives Matter riots. All right, bro. That's the last time somebody stormed anything over there, right, my man? So I'll tell you right now, for doing that in a game, that is great because I don't think that has to happen anytime soon in that city for something positive in a very long time.
Deion has the entire country's eyes on him.
Yeah.
I am never given one shit about Colorado football.
No.
I've watched both
now.
games and I am so engaged.
You know what I know about Colorado football? Well, they were in the Big 12 a little bit, like Eric Beatty. But the main thing is it's the Big 12. Go play in the Muros, brother. That's what I know about Colorado. Okay, Dan Hawkins,
Cordell
right.
Stewart.
That's what I know about Cordell Stewart.
But John actually was going to be at that game yesterday, but you came here instead.
Good choice, John.
John,
Here's
come on,
the
man.
thing.
You got it.
If you're a
wish
college
they would've.
coach right now, you're scared of Deion because this is the first time somebody's been the number 1 prospect and did become a coach. And now these kids have somebody who's walking into their house that looks like them, that's been the number 1 prospect, saying, "Come play for me."
Yes, sir.
Like, they're not getting Nick Saban. They're not getting some fat white corporate looking dude coming in and saying, "Oh, like it's going to go so far. It's just going to be a train for as long as he wants to stay at Colorado."
Or anywhere. I think he's going to have no shortage of opportunities to go to bigger and better scores as well.
Jordan, I was going to ask you this. So I think he likes Colorado 1 because it's his, right? That's his program. There's and he's going to earn it. And in 5 years, that's his program. But do you think he would go back do you think you see him in Atlanta, the Falcons? Someday, or do you think he's in this for the children? Do you think that I want to give back, or is he on a path?
Before you start, they were talking about this on Denver radio.
Yeah,
because they're already saying, "Is he going to go somewhere else?"
2
games.
games.
In 2 years he will. In 2 years he will.
I don't think he wants to go to the league though, man.
No, they're saying that.
I think he did.
His whole thing does not work on pro players because they're too arrogant, and he doesn't want to deal with that. And I totally get that. He wants to be a king where you can be a king in college football. You can't do that in the NFL. And honestly, I don't think he wants the headache of NFL players. I think he wants guys that he can sculpt into men. And I think that's where his passion's at. And they'll pay him more than an NFL coach.
Right. He publicly said that he doesn't want to go to the NFL. He doesn't want to deal with that.
No.
Yeah.
I think that, let's say Uncle Jerry comes calling and by some chance Dallas, gets a hold of Shador, right?
That ain't gonna
His
happen.
kids get into the pros. I think he will at least consider going to coach's boy. That's what I think.
I think the only way he goes to the NFL, if he takes a job in the NFL, is not going to be in coaching. I'll see him more in the front lines, in the front office.
That's fair. Man,
That's where I see Dion. He has the skills. He can. I know recruiting and and free agency in the NFL with pros are completely different. But the guy, think about it. He knows how to handle, the incentives, the NIL and stuff like that. He's getting these kids money. He's got to bring this in. He's not stupid. He knows. So I think
I think he's smarter than most guys in the room. And I think if somebody offers him a head coaching job, he says, how about you just give me some of the ownership of your team and I'll use my marketing genius to make you guys more valuable.
That's where I see him. I see him in the front office, man, more than coaching. He doesn't want to deal with that shit.
Dion is one of those guys, like, that's why we love sports. Players like Dion, players like, Julio Rodriguez, people who make you jump off the couch. Yeah. Like, how can you not love sports? These Colorado games, like, is the entire state just enveloped in Colorado Buffs football now?
Yes. Yes.
Hey, Jordan.
It seemed like it. Hell, half of them was on the field yesterday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jordan, you got to tell Uncle Jerry to retire, all right, and give it up so that Dion can take over for operations.
Hey, absolutely, man.
You know what I mean?
I can't get Jerry Jones out of Dallas fast enough.
Yeah,
Jordan, I want to ask you, man. I want to ask you, would you, as a Cowboys fan, man, obviously the recency bias, everything hype on Dion. Would you like Dion as your head guy down there?
I would take Dion in a heartbeat, even if went up in flames, man. That's the shot you got to take. This dude, I look at it as almost like a startup business. This guy is a disruptor. He is changing the way things are done. He is not going on anybody's beaten path. He's forging his own. Yeah. So hell yeah, I'm rocking with Dion if that's a possibility.
Well, and sometimes you have these. We've seen in the past. Steve Spurrier, Nick Saban go to the NFL. Very Hall of Fame college coach go to the NFL, and they can't do it because they can't do it their way, man. Where Nick Saban's more of a my way or the highway type guy. Dion's more of a player's coach, man. He can go in, he can relate with those guys. He's played in the league, been there, done
played
all that.
in the NFL at the highest level. And that's what I think is the difference. Is he in? And I forget who said it, but he is those players. When he walks into that living room, he's not the old fat white guy, right? He is those players, he was those players. So I think if anybody can make that transition, look, anybody who's bet against Dion on anything so far has been absolutely fucking wrong. I'm just saying.
Time
to start Dion. Time to start putting your money on Dion.
I'm done doubting him. I doubted them week 1 against TCU, and they showed me. And then I thought, all right, well, they popped the champagne. They partied. Like, this is going to be a letdown spot for them. Nebraska's probably going to win by 3-4 points.
Well, it's funny.
Nebraska was never in that football game. Nobody whoop you in your crib.
That's right.
What kind of man? There's no man come into his crib and whoop.
It's personal.
Well, I took that game yesterday. I bet the over under, and I took the under because I was afraid of betting, the line or anything like that. You know what I mean? So it hit.
Oh man, if Nebraska had any kind of pulse on offense, I was on the over, and it just kept shrinking down there. It scared me toward the line. But if Nebraska had any kind of pulse on offense at all, it would have easily got over.
I went that way. I'm like, I don't think you're going to see that explosion from week 1, right? I mean, and still though, Shador, Sanders, that dude, just another. I mean, he made some plays yesterday, dude. People forget that this kid was giving offers from the top 5 schools when he was in high school, and maybe he wasn't going to start in Alabama, but he got an offer from Alabama, LSU, all the big names. But man, they know this kid was good in high school. I mean, crap, and he's in an offense now that he knows well, and
the sports books are sweating him bad. He's one of the biggest liabilities for them to win the Heisman. He's got to be in the conversation right now. If the Heisman ceremony tomorrow, he'd be there.
Think about it. Yeah, hell yeah. If you look at the numbers compared to Caleb Williams or whoever, man, this kid right now, quarterback-wise, I mean, come on, man.
And he'll hit the books hard if he wins it, man.
In Colorado, right?
150 to 1 out of the gate. Sounded like 12-1 now, probably.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
yeah.
mean, Colorado, like if they just win 6 games this year, I'm just using that number, right?
Yeah.
That's 5 more games than they won last season. That is a monumental shift in that program, right? And I think 5 to 6 games for Colorado is like, the price of admission. That's already done.
No,
We know
that's
they're
like-
going to
yeah.
get that, right?
They're-
Like what these kids are doing, what Dion's doing, it's nuts.
Their preseason win total was sitting at 3.5, man, and I piled on that over. I was like, no way Coach Prime doesn't get 4 wins.
Yeah, they're almost there. They'll be there next week.
Yeah, real close, man. I didn't even really have to sweat this one, man. I'm cool now. I feel good about it.
Yep.
Yeah, you'll hit that by next week.
Let's shift back to some NFL.
Yeah, let's go
talk
some
about
NFL.
this Packers-Bears game. Bears
Oh,
minus
shit.
1.5. Christian Watson hamstring out. Romeo Dobbs hamstring questionable.
Mhm.
Bears linebacker Dylan Cole hamstring questionable. We got Eddie Jackson with an ankle. Safety Jaquan Brisker groin. Okay, so there's some defensive players in the secondary that might balance it out a little bit with the Packers' lack of wide receivers. But how do you guys see this game going? I think it's going to be an ugly NFC North back and forth game.
Yeah, man, I agree with you there. I heard Chris say earlier, man, these Packers fans are spoiled. Already expecting Jordan Love to be in the Hall of Fame. You only spent the last 3 decades with 2 of the greatest quarterbacks to ever live, and now they're just guys just going to come in, keep the train. They're just printing quarterbacks up there. I think the Packers are going to be better than people expect, man. I do. I know it hurts them with Christian Watson being out, maybe Romeo Dobbs being out. But I like Jordan Love. I like Aaron Jones. I like A.J. Dillon. I think they got a solid defense up there. The Packers, one of my dark horses, to come on and win this division, man. Now, I was saying that before I saw how good the Lions actually were the other night. But
Oh, boy, you ain't lying.
I was in denial about how good the Lions are.
Man, cricket.
Team, man.
They play defense over there.
That's
the
right.
Offensive line is just a bunch of bullies.
Offensive line is nasty, bro. They'll straight hit you in the mouth and say, "Get out of my fucking way."
We could be sitting here in December saying Detroit has the best offensive line in the league, hands down.
You could if Philadelphia didn't exist, but unfortunately, Philadelphia exists. And here's what I'm going to say. Listen,
I love you, Jordan.
The Detroit Lions, I don't want to take anything away from them, right? Everybody, they're like the Colorado of the NFL world. The whole world is
great analogy, bro. Great analogy.
Everybody's on that bandwagon, man.
Everybody wants them to win, but let's not pretend that they just came out and dominated the Chiefs. They won. They got the victory by 1 point, with Kansas City having absolutely no pass catchers and without having their best defensive linemen. I think we just need to pump the brakes just a little bit on the Detroit Lions.
Damn it,
right now.
Reason.
And
yeah, that was way too logical, man. You're bringing me down.
And
who invited Reason to the party?
The Green Bay Packers did, because it stands to reason that the Green Bay Packers have had this division by the balls for the better part of 2 decades. I am banking on them. I'm banking on Matt LaFleur. I'm banking on Jordan Love to be that guy. He will be a top 10 to 12 quarterback in this league. I am almost certain of it, bare minimum.
Let's go.
I think everybody looks at Green Bay last year and says, okay, well, they lost to the Lions. They didn't make the playoffs. It's going to be the same team. They cut the cancer out of that locker room. Aaron Rodgers being gone is a net positive. The whole world is sleeping on Green Bay. They're going to be back this year, and they're still going to be the Packers.
God damn it, Jordan. I wish you lived closer. I want to come give you a hug, brother.
Our souls are
intertwined.
Chris, I'll still be the first one to tell you I hate the Packers and
I know
the Packers, right?
It was not a catch. Hey,
people
it
are
wasn't a catch.
It was absolutely a catch.
That was
Say
not
it to
a
the
catch.
man's face. Don't be hugging up on Des Bryant at the expo and then talking that stuff 2 weeks later.
I talked all that shit, and then when I was in front of him, I was like, "Hi, Mr. Des. Hello, Mr. Des.
Great catch, bro.
Football, Mr. Des."
Let me shake the hand that caught that damn ball all those years
That was
ago.
not a catch.
It was a catch, a football move, almost a damn touchdown. Get out of
When
here.
I remember when they threw that flag, I said, well, I mean, I guess you might as well try, but obviously that's not getting overturned. I was shocked.
That changed some things too, man, in the NFL. That changed some things. Man, I think Matt LaFleur is going to be in the conversation for Coach of the Year this year.
Agreed.
Yes. If he wins this division without Aaron Rodgers running his, Tennessee scheme with the run game, in the play action passing, he'll
Give him
be
the
in the
trophy.
conversation for sure.
Yep.
You know, it's funny. You look at this game, and it's definitely the tale of two freaking cities, right? You got everybody's high on Justin on Fields, right? He has all these weapons around. Oh, this is his year, right? You know, he's like the shiny new shiny toy. And then everybody looks at Jordan Love with the sample size that has been given hasn't been great, right? Like, we got to agree on that, right? He hasn't fucking blown anybody out of the water. That makes you think otherwise. And then this division, people keep forgetting, as bad as defensively they may be, you still got the fucking Vikings here who are going to throw the shit out of the ball with the best wide receiver in football, probably the second best wide receiver in Jordan Addison, because this kid's going to go insane. All right. You know, and they're still going to be there. Yeah, their defense suck, but they're going to throw the shit out of the football, high scoring games. And look, I love you guys, but I see the Packers maybe, you know, third or fourth here.
Oh, that's fair. My heart.
No, listen.
Have you all forgot Jair Alexander exists?
They have.
What we're doing. DJ Moore is a non-factor.
He is. What? Why is everybody so high on the Bears? What the hell has Justin Fields ever done except for run around the field like a chicken with his head cut off? Like, he's a great runner. People dog on Lamar Jackson. Justin Fields is 3 times as bad. The guy can't throw the football. They don't have wide receivers. That offense is Khalil Herbert and a bunch of scrubs.
And what has happened between last year and this year to make us think he's throwing the football accurately now?
It's the Lions and Minnesota's division lose.
Hey, let's be real.
That's where I'm at.
This show wouldn't be no fun if we all agreed on everything, man.
Absolutely.
Nope.
That's where I'm at. I mean, and I know it's early on, and you're right, dude. Everybody is jumping on that Detroit bandwagon. Yeah, dude, they defeated a freaking team that was hurt, right? By 1 point. There's some holes that you saw there as well. I mean, come on. Nobody caught that damn football. There were so many plays that this could have gone the other way, especially for Darius Toney. I mean, there was third down passes, bro, that were like going through their hands. A lot of factors. Again, Detroit looks good, right? Last year they finished strong. They added pieces to their team and to make them better. They got rid of some guys that they needed to, right? At the end of the day, you know, you still got a suspect secondary, even though they look better last night. And number 2, bro, listen, as good as Dan Campbell is as a motivator, this dude is not going to take it to the fucking promised land. All right.
Hey,
this fucking meathead can do as many he could do as many up downs as he wants with the fucking defensive line. But this guy is not it. All right. I love him. Great motivator. This guy, he's got to get your team to play hard for you, run through a brick wall and do everything else. He's not the guy. He's not Sean Payton. I mean, it gets to look at that questionable call he made on 4th down. Should have never done that. The game would have been over.
Those are all my clickbait phrases that I use, though. You just debunked them all.
Hey, listen, big balls get you, but so far in the NFL, all right? Not all the time. And that's the reason why. I think that's where you question Detroit in my way. But hey, it's a great start of the season, though.
And Elio, I do want to say something to that, right? And I went through that entire game or whatever, but you can also talk about the inverse of it as well. What happens if Detroit gives Jahmyr Gibbs, an actually talented running back, 20 carries instead of that heaping pile of dog water in Montgomery, right? Like, maybe they win by more. So I'm not trying to knock Detroit. I think there's definitely talent there and they're good, but man, everybody is riding off the Packers, and I just don't get it. And I feel like everybody should have learned their lesson by now.
They will.
It's out of Aaron
They'll
Rodgers
all
record.
see.
What makes me nervous, Elio, is when you take a picture of Dan Campbell and a picture of LaFleur and you put them together, it doesn't look very close. Like, I don't know that we could actually beat this guy in anything.
Matt LaFleur looks like the guy who goes and gets Dan Campbell's 2 Ventis from Starbucks.
Hey guys, historically, the guy that knows how to make the spreadsheets are the most successful ones in the NFL. All right, so instead of the meathead, so think about that, right?
Man,
I mean, look at Sean McVay. Right? Does that dude look like he could beat Dan Campbell up, bro?
He's got good hair though, doesn't he? McVay?
He's got good hair, bro. He does got good hair. I can't get over the wormhole of PTSD that Elio sent me spiral into, man. Talking about up downs right there. That old war story, man. I got nightmares about up downs back in the day, man.
Oh man.
Another divisional bout, Rams at Seahawks. Are the Seahawks, is Geno Smith going to be good again? Has he figured it out in year 10?
I mean, shit, he has the receivers.
Now we're going to get what we got last year.
Yes.
He does have a horse. He has the receivers.
He has horses.
Yeah.
And
A lot
Kenneth
of
Walker
skill on
third's
that
a
team.
stud,
I mean,
man. Like,
yeah.
like I said, they get Smith and Jigba back. That's going to be another weapon for him right there. I think Geno Smith's going to be solid enough, man. This division, I think it's too many points right there. I don't really like giving up anything over a field goal in this division. It always, no matter how good the best team is and how bad the worst team is, it always seems to play eerily close in this thing. I know they got to travel to Seattle right there, but I'm not comfortable giving up 5 points in this thing, man.
No. NFC West games, I always take the points.
Yeah.
It usually works out. I don't
For
know
sure.
what to expect with this Rams
Hey,
team.
Malachi.
We got Puka Nakua, Van Jefferson,
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it's bad. I mean, in
Ben
Seattle, like I said,
Skoranek.
Seattle, not only they just added JSN, but like people sleep on the running back they drafted in Charbonnet, which
Charbonnet's a stud too, man.
this dude may end up being the starter. All right.
I got him handcuffed
as
to
good as
Kenneth Walker the third. In every league I got Kenneth Walker, I got Charbonnet hanging out down there on the bench. Just in
I
case.
think it could be again another Green Bay situation where
Yeah,
I think that'll
absolutely.
be a 1A, 1B. I think
Mhm.
both of those guys will be fantasy relevant by the end of the season.
Yeah,
I
that'd
think
be a
it's
good
gonna be
one.
based
Charbonnet,
on-
the better receiver. He's going to get the passing down work, and he's the bigger guy too. So he may get the goal line work. You might just need those 80-yard runs from Kenneth Walker to get it done. Kenneth
And-
Walker's always good for a 20-yard run somewhere in the game.
And once
like
again,
betting
like
his
Denver
over.
with Samaje Perine and Javonte Williams, man, that's a good 1-2 punch. Save the miles on those legs, young guys, not put too much on them, man. I like it out there.
If there was a team that decided to tell its quarterback, listen, dude, you're my guy next year. We signed you, but we're also going to give you players.
Yep.
Make sure you're my guy next year. It was Seattle.
Yep.
And it's Geno's job to lose. It's, so he's
He
back
can't-
in the same
can't
system with
complain.
better weapons.
Yeah,
So.
he can't complain. They gave him everything he was supposed to get, man. Everything he wanted and asked for, he got it. So now step up there and do it.
Pete Carroll definitely did right by him.
Yes.
I love
Wasn't
Pete
Pete
Carroll
going to
too, man.
retire? Weren't we told that before last season that it was going to be his last season? Or did I
Probably
dream?
he's tired of fucking Russell Wilson.
Yeah. Did you see him out there, bro, throwing passes and shit like that in practice?
Yeah,
You see that video?
man, he was out running in warm up.
he was out there
Ready to
I was
go.
like, dude, he's
All
gonna-
right.
I will say there's never been a situation where, like, my opinion 180'd on a coach and a player as much as Pete Carroll and Russell Wilson.
Yeah.
Like, I
Me
completely
too.
I
am
agree,
not
bro.
sure
Me
that
too.
Russell Wilson was ever a good quarterback in the NFL. I am not sure of it anymore.
He would have
I
been the
do know-
first one out of Wisconsin ever.
Yeah, I do know that Pete Carroll, absolutely 100% dog. 100%.
Freaking
Yeah.
resurrected Geno last year. I mean,
Yeah.
that's what even adds more value to
Didn't
your
miss
point,
a
bro. I mean,
beat without Russell Wilson. Who thought that Seattle just absolutely lost that trade? Everybody. And like now it's looking like one of the most one-sided trades in NFL history going the other way.
The other
just
way.
beat him.
Absolutely.
Just beat him in week one, the first game after trade. They're just like, hey, man, we won this thing. We're going to show you. He gave us all them picks. We got Geno over here. Y'all take this guy. He's on our fucking nerves anyway. Bye. It worked
Do
out.
we need a comeback coach of the year award
I mean,
for
I
a
guess
Pete Carroll type situation?
I think that's fair, man. I think that's fair. I think this should be at least something. At least need some acknowledgement, man.
yeah, we should come up with our own categories, right? Meathead coach of the year, comeback coach of the year, moron coach of the something like that, man. And we should
I like
give
it,
them all
man.
at the end of the season, right?
Mike McCarthy would win 2 out of 3 of those every
Yeah.
year.
Winner gets
Douchebag
steak.
the douchebag coach of the year, something like that. You know what I mean? Well, let's come up
3
with
out of
five
4,
solid.
Elio. Let's
Yeah,
keep
we go.
going.
We could-
Hey, that's what I
Send
do,
that
man.
coach
It's-
to Summer's Eve.
the Summer Eve
meathead
award, right?
coach to Tomahawk Steaks.
Oh, man.
We're doing our Corn Pop Award again this year, where every week we pick our Corn Pop Player of the Week, who was the baddest man on the gridiron. Corn Pop is a bad dude.
Okay.
And I'm going to send him a little individual bowl of Corn Pops. And ask
Just
them to
send
sign
him
the lid and
one
send it
Corn
back.
Pop
We'll
in
see how
the
many we
mail.
get.
One.
Just one in a
In
letter.
a very small baggie, where you measure
One
other
corn
shit.
pop?
It's like,
Looks like you're selling drugs. with
Yeah,
Corn
they-
Pops or something.
You'll have the
Here's an
police
ounce.
at your door by week 3, guaranteed.
Corn pop, sir.
Let me get a couple of those Corn Pops, dog.
Got to try these Corn Pops, man.
Yeah,
Mr.
more
Wangenecker
Corn
here.
this
You got
last
any more of those
was
Corn
good.
Pops? Yep. And then we'll see how many of them send their signed lids back to us. See if we can get a wall of them going. This Dolphins Chargers game is going to be one of the
I like
more fun games to watch. I'm pissed
Yeah.
it's on at the same time as the Packer game. I know that Miami struggles out west, but the Chargers tend to start, 1-3, 1-4, and then they rattle off 7-8 wins in a row. So I'm not sure what to expect from this game other than maybe a lot of points.
That's what I'm
Cricket,
going on.
do you like the total in this one? Oh, it's 51 even.
Man, I do.
So
other than the
52
fact that
points gets us there.
everybody else loves it too, though,
Mhm.
man. And this Chargers team, I just, the Chargers are like the only team in the NFL that don't actually have a home field advantage. You see in their home stadium, they're supposed to be the home team, and half the fans are wearing the other team's colors. It's the only team that doesn't have any kind of home field advantage. So I don't know. And I just don't think the Chargers are going to be that good. I think it's going to take week one, going to take them a little while to get rolling, stuff like that. I don't know, man. 51 points, that's a lot of points for me right here.
Yeah, it's scary to go over anything in the 50s. Angela says all Pete's power comes from his gum. As a gum enthusiast, I have to entertain that notion that possibly they make energy gum, they make nicotine gum. Maybe there's a football gum out there that gives
He's
that
been chewing it
all
since his
IQ
USD
supporters
days,
powers.
apparently.
The same piece.
Same
piece.
Had it in there for 30 years.
How is Pete not doing gum commercials though?
That's fair.
Because he just fucking doesn't need you. He's got all
No,
the money
yeah.
he'll ever need. He's 100 years old. He's been fuck all that. I'm just gonna
He's
hang
like,
out. Yeah.
Guys, you seriously couldn't give me enough free gum to make me do your
No,
commercial.
man, this guy's made so much money.
I only
I mean-
need this one piece anyway.
Yeah. I'm not even using it anymore.
Going back to the USC day, that dude was making money. Wasn't he like one of the highest paid coach when he was at USC or something like that before he went to the NFL? I mean,
Smartest man in the world too. Knows all those sanctions are raining down. He's like, I got to go. We'll see y'all later, man.
Yep.
Yeah. He really is understood that Gina was better than Russell Wilson when nobody else fucking saw that coming. Like
A
Pete
savant.
Carroll, man. If there's one thing I've learned today on today's episode, it's Pete Carroll is the freaking man.
Well, when you've been coaching for 50 years, you pick up a thing or two.
That's
That
true.
guy,
That's true,
older
John.
than
You
he
can learn a
looks.
thing or two.
He's 72.
He's up there,
He's
He's
man.
been in
than you
football
look.
almost as long as Bob Uecker has been in baseball.
Yeah,
That's the
he's-
most fit-looking 72-year-old on the planet, though,
Yes.
man.
bro,
Yes.
He's out there throwing spit routes.
Doesn't
I
look
love-
a day over 69.
no,
That's
I don't,
right.
obviously no. He looks like he's early 60, right? Like I think this guy can pass for like 59 or 60. You know, if he goes to a bar, hey, he could hook up with some youngin, bro. He could be that sugar daddy
Oh, I
kind
bet
of
he's
style.
still-
bro.
Urban Meyer can.
I don't want to
Yeah.
go through
Yeah.
angle tackles against Pete Carroll, man.
No. I think it rejuvenates anybody who sees those videos of Pete Carroll
Let-
hustling
Yeah,
around.
exactly.
I
He
love
doesn't
how
quite pull it all the way back. Just kind of pushes it down the field like Phil Rivers used to do back in his prime.
Yeah,
Love Phillip Rivers, man.
he has that push throw, bro. You know what I'm saying?
That's
he
right.
looked good
Yeah.
out there.
The old shot put.
There we go, man. I mean,
one of the most exciting matchups of this week is the Chargers versus the Miami Dolphins. And
Mhm.
yet here we are absolutely having the segment hijacked by the awesomeness of Pete fucking Carroll, boys. Let's go.
right, man. That's
I
right.
fucking love the NFL, man. This is
if I'm Pete Carroll, I'll do Viagra fucking episodes of that new shit. Chew. That's what I take a freaking
Blue
sponsorship
Chew.
for, bro.
Blue Chew.
Blue Chew, whatever. I'll take a sponsorship from that bad boy, man. If you're an old guy, right, and you see Pete Carroll running around throwing the football and stuff like that dude is on that shit.
But you find
know,
out
I need to
Pete
be on it
Carroll-
too.
Pete Carroll
Yeah.
is the guy who admitted Blue Chew by tossing a piece of gum into a trash bin and someone
Exactly.
taking it and getting its properties. But anyway, Chargers and Dolphins.
I'm gonna.
There are two things I want to note here. Teron Armstead is going to miss this game, so that Tua Wando does need to come into full effect because he needs to watch his blind side. And then the Chargers last season allowed a league high 17 touchdowns from outside of the red zone, and that's what the Miami Dolphins do best. I think Miami takes this game, and I'm hitting the over because I absolutely think both offenses are going to go bananas in this one.
I am going nuts on the over as well. That's the only game that I'm picking overall with scores. I know it's high, but just a lot of the echoing what Jordan said. It's true. I mean, I think, and again, listen, let's not forget, man. Fucking Justin Herbert is on the other side. He could fucking sling the football. He has hopefully all his wide receivers are healthy for the start of the season, right? Which usually the way it is. Allen, Williams. You got Quentin Johnson. Is that his name is from who they drafted? I mean, you keep forgetting about Austin Eckler. He's going to catch the ball about 10 fucking times. You know what I mean? It should be. It should be a high scoring game. Both teams can score over 30 points. It could be, high 32 to 28 or something. I don't know.
You got Herbert can throw for almost 5,000 yards with a broken rib half
Yeah.
the year.
No shit.
I bet the over on this too. Is the last thing
Me
I
too.
did as I was boarding the plane from Colorado to Wisconsin was bet the over on this one, because once you're in Wisconsin, you can't bet anymore on DraftKings. So
All
That was the
bets are
last-
quite literally off.
Yeah.
so
I
yeah,
think
I'm on the
play-
over.
Yeah, I think the play is the over. I think I just got to sit back and watch. Give me a little on-field product, some sample size there. I just, week one, it's always they tend to come out a
Yeah.
little slow, little jitters and stuff like that. So I want to see it. Not to say it, I think it probably winds up getting there. I think that's the play in this game probably, but I'll probably just avoid this one too, man. I'm gonna be real careful this weekend. NFL week one usually bites my ass, so I'm gonna be careful this week.
Yep. That's
Hey.
a veteran move. Dip the toe, maybe the foot in the water, but don't
Right.
dive in.
A little couple $5 parlays in there and just have a little sweat.
Because of
Jordan, who
everybody
do
has
you
agreed.
think is going to be lined up over Teron Armstead's replacement, Bosa or Khalil Mack? Because I'm seeing Bosa 2 sacks plus 900.
I'm just saying, whoever it's going to be is absolutely going to eat. Like, this is not the matchup to not have Teron Armstead in this game for Tua, and I fear for the young man's life, if I'm being honest.
That's what I'm saying, man. The Dolphins better hope there's 0 sacks in this game, man. Tua's head made of paper mache and all that. So
It's
Nah,
that taekwondo. It's going to come in handy. He's going to be doing some like side Russian leg sweeps, and like I just can't wait to see it.
Tua jiu-jitsu, baby.
I mean,
Tua Kundo.
I still don't understand what the hell does that have to do with learning how to fall, dude. I don't know. Maybe I understand getting into shape. That's good. You use martial arts, mixed martial arts to get into shape. I mean, Debo did it. He's coming back. Debo Samuel's coming back in the best shape of his career.
I'm going to be
but-
injured by week 3.
Exactly. I just don't know. That's probably going to happen to Tua. I mean, I don't know. I still don't know what that has to do with fucking falling, dude. You know what I'm saying? It's not like he's
It would absolutely blow my mind if Tua Tagovailoa plays every single game this year.
Yeah.
I
That would
hope so
blow
for
my mind.
Miami's sake. 'Cause,
Me
I mean,
too, but just
not-
because I think Miami's going to have this division locked up
Mhm.
by week 15, and he's not going to have to play at the end.
Whoa,
Let's
that's
go.
bullshit.
I'm all
Get
in
the
on
hell outta
Miami.
here.
I love what they're
Get the
doing.
hell out of here.
Aaron Rodgers, Josh Allen in that division.
No,
man. He's
man.
I
gonna
love.
lock up by
Okay,
week
okay.
15.
So I'm an adamant Aaron Rodgers hater. I was all in on the Jets last year, right? I feel like I was ahead of the curve on the Jets, and I want to love the Jets, but Jesus Christ, that schedule is fucking brutal, especially outside of the gate. You got the Bills, you got the Cowboys, you got the Patriots. I think you got the Chiefs. Like, there's literally not an easy matchup for them the first 6 weeks of the season. That's why the Jets scare the hell out of me. Whereas comparatively speaking, I feel like Miami has the easiest schedule of those 3 teams in the East, which is why I think they will wrap this thing up and take that division crown from the Buffalo Bills.
Okay.
The Jets do
Bold.
have an overwhelming rest advantage. They've positioned these games where they get the most rest out of net rest. That's a new metric.
Net rest.
They have the most net rest over the course of the season. They have Thursday night games followed by a week off, so they get multiple mini buys plus the regular buy.
Or is
They've got it. It's a tough schedule, but it's stacked as much in their favor as possible.
net rest. Is there a point where we are
90%
kind of
to a
reaching too
sneeze.
far? Are we reaching
Yes.
too far on stats at a certain point, man? Net
Yes.
rest.
We're
You know-
way too deep.
I'm gonna go the opposite way here, boys. I feel like I need to start tracking my own net rest. Like, that seems like a statistic that's absolutely applicable.
That's what affects my winning is my net rest, man. If I ain't getting
that's
rest, I'm betting on every goddamn thing.
So real quick, the first 6 weeks you got the Bills, the Cowboys, the Patriots is probably the second easiest. Them are the Broncos, but then you also have the Chiefs and the Eagles. So tell me how they win more than 2 of those games.
That's brutal, dude.
Yeah,
that's
they play a lot
rough.
of primetime games too, don't they? Oh, yeah, 4 or 5 primetime games this year.
I'm sure
yeah,
most
it's
of
gonna
those
be
are.
Aaron
Yeah,
Rodgers in your face all year long.
because
bro.
everybody
Dude, Eric.
wants that.
I just can't wait to see when they start losing or there's some turmoil in the
That'll
locker
be-
room. So we can see Aaron come back to, his good old douchebag Aaron Rodgers kind of like, takes, you know what I mean? Because he's been Mr. Man in the locker room with the Jets, changing
Yeah,
his
all
whole
those,
personality.
All those extra Rodgers games will be a really good chance to, bump up some of our statistics in that net rest category, boys.
There you go.
There was a clip from Randall Cobb in Hard Knocks that sort of shone the light on what could happen. He said, you guys are making a lot of little mistakes, basic stuff. He's cool now, but one day he is going to snap and it's not going to be good. So he's seen it happen to Allen Lazard, Charles Lee, all these rookie wide receivers in Green Bay who were just berated for making rookie mistakes.
Is Aaron Rodgers a shithead, man? What do y'all think? Is he a shithead?
I feel like Aaron Rodgers gets cooler the shittier he gets personally. Like I used to like hate that guy, and like now I still hate him, but like I would probably hang out with him. I'm just saying.
Put it this way.
I think he's a well-meaning shithead. Like he's had money for too long.
Yeah.
He's been in California too long. Once you're doing darkness retreats and talking to us about chakras and UFOs.
I would do a darkness retreat with Aaron Rodgers, full disclosure. Would totally join.
I don't even know what it is, man, but I'm in. Sign me up.
Hell yeah. Me and Cricket Aaron Rodgers next year going to Indonesia or wherever the hell it is to do one of the darkness retreats.
Somebody let Aaron know he's busy.
Tell you live in a tree and I don't know, you feel around for the bathroom. It sounds like
Aaron Rodgers is going to be there. Sign me up, man.
Yeah. Dolphins. Let's talk Eagles Patriots. It's only 3.5.
That's good.
I feel like they want me to take Philly in this game.
I'm on the pass.
Belichick, first week, he's had all offseason to plan for these Eagles. He's newly single. Linda is no longer bugging him to go to the fucking pumpkin patch and take pictures so he can sit down and look at football and think about what's really important in life instead of getting a double venti frozen Acai refresher and telling him to spell Linda correctly. It's every Instagram picture. He has that, I do not want to be here smile on his face. Yeah. He should just have a bumper sticker on his forehead that says, I'd rather be doing football. Nowhere else he wants to be.
I'm going to be the sucker taking the 3.5 points, man, because if you look at New England on the other side, man, there ain't shit going on there, bro, offensively. I mean,
Mac Jones, I do not believe in at all.
Exactly. I mean, Mac Jones or anybody he's throwing the ball to, okay? And shit, man, the running game is their only freaking, offense here with Stevenson. And I saw Stevenson questionable, but that's more of like a, last minute.
He's got a tummy ache.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, he's sick. Yeah, illness. Yeah.
And, and Zeke, the freak, it's not going to do shit unless it's in the goal line, right? Jordan, what do you think of that, man?
I'm taking the bet all day. Zeke one time or anytime touchdown score. Yeah. It's going to happen, but I'm smashing the Eagles. I don't think the Patriots have any chance. I think, bold take here, I think this is the end of the Bill Belichick regime. I think this is the year it all goes up into flames.
Wow. Could you imagine if he doesn't leave on his terms, he ends up fired? Nobody saw that coming. Eagles -2.5 first half. I think that's what I'm going to do. Last year, they always blew everybody out in the first half and sort of let off the gas.
They outscored opponents by 121 points in the first half of games last season.
Is that good?
Hey,
is that good?
Here's something y'all got to remember, man. It's Tom Brady Day up there in Foxborough.
Oh, yeah, what happened last year?
That's the only thing swayed me that way. Will been preaching it to me for weeks now, man. They don't lose with Tom Brady in the building, man.
Didn't they lose last year, though?
They don't lose with Tom Brady in the building when Tom Brady's the quarterback.
Yeah.
Right? Don't listen to Will in his homer take here.
I told Will, I said, man,
terrible.
I said, Will, Tom ain't going to be wearing a helmet on Sunday, man. We got to remember that. It affects it a little bit.
Yeah.
Bill Belichick in the locker room pregame, like, Tom Brady's not walking through that door. Then all of a sudden, Tom Brady walks through that fucking door. Yeah.
Suited up, ready to go.
Let's go.
That might backfire. I mean, if you're Mac Jones, you feel the pressure of Tom Brady.
Yeah.
And if you're Bill Belichick, all you hear about now is without Tom Brady, how good is Bill Belichick? That might backfire. I think the Eagles are a much better team, and I think they're going to show it. And I think while Bill Belichick may not get fired this year, I think everybody's saying, but it's Bill Belichick, stops being a phrase.
Yeah. I think it's a 2-year program here
before
you leave.
If Juju's knee explodes at any moment, I mean, now you got Mohamed Sanu, Juju Smith-Schuster. How many failed wide receiver acquisitions? I mean, it's not what it was in 2007.
John, I like you, man. You walk soft, carry a big stick, but when you speak up and you spit knowledge to him, I like it, bro.
Yeah.
And the last thing I'll say is that's great that he's Bill Belichick, but have you seen Philly's offensive fucking line?
Whoo, you're right,
These guys, the line never takes a week off ever. And that has been what has been carrying this team that hasn't been talked about a whole lot. I mean, it's mean. It's so I took the Eagles -4.
Would you believe that when we first started this company and put the feelers out for like partners, contributors, John was the first guy who came along We were like, this can't be it. Like this guy, we got the perfect guy on the first try. I thought we were gonna have to run through a dozen, not gonna work here anymore. Anyway,
like them Packers fans.
the fuck guy knocks it out of the park.
That's
First
right.
at bat. It's beautiful. We got really lucky finding John. Or that's just preparation meeting opportunity. That's Chris making connections, shaking hands, kissing babies.
Yes, sir, man. Doing his best Russell Wilson impression.
Yeah, it's gonna say, bro, Russell 2.0. Let's go.
That ain't happening anymore, according to Sean Payton.
Yeah.
No more baby kissing. No more personal trainer. No more office on the second
We're
floor.
gonna play football.
I love that, though, man. I love that. It's my time. Hey, man, shut up and play football. We had the worst offense in the fucking league last year, and we paid you $250 million to do that. Shut up and play football.
Hey, I think he told Russ, if I see you kissing another baby that's not yours, I'm calling the Division of Family and Services. Okay, on your ass, all right, motherfucker.
Right now. Yeah, you
I got
look
Drew Brees on
anyway.
speed dial,
Exactly.
motherfucker. Try me.
You sketchy motherfucker. Too perfect. Ain't nobody that perfect.
Fuck out of here. You're in your office. Fuck out of here.
He got fired, right, from being an announcer. He was
Who,
asked,
Brees?
he was
think
asked
so.
to no longer participate.
Yeah, that's they've been fired. When they tell you they don't want you to show up anymore, man, it's like,
It was one of those, you resign or we're going to resign for you. So save face and please.
yeah.
You're no longer
You're not
interested.
Tony Romo.
How do you want this to hit the papers, bro?
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's
So should we build a little DFS lineup? We're
let's go. Let's
hour and a half into this thing. I feel like we should get a lineup put together.
Love daily fantasy. Let's do that.
All right.
I got one built. I haven't built anything yet. But
What do y'all like to use daily fantasy for? What's y'all's favorite daily fantasy?
FanDuel for me.
You FanDuel? I'm DraftKings guy.
I'm a draft guy.
DraftKings.
Well, that's good. Then we'll have it both covered.
That's right.
DraftKings was the one I downloaded first, and then I got used to that. Sort of like the Samsung. I finally broke from Samsung this year.
Me and Ely are the old guys.
Yeah.
I'm FanDuel too. Because
Yeah,
it's the
that's
first one I
started
got.
with that. Me too.
Yeah.
I have
just always-
DraftKings too, but I focus more on FanDuel. Is what
I
I'm
just
used
always use DraftKings, man. I just like the interface. It's human nature. We don't really like change and stuff, man. I got used to DraftKings.
Yeah,
I don't really want to get away from it.
That's exactly right, Crick. I think DraftKings is a better interface, but since I started with FanDuel, I just don't even want to F with it.
Yeah, it's I always go back to it.
On DraftKings, I see Sam Howell down here at 4,900. Do you think that's going to be a too popular play to make, or is that a risky, fun, possible big upside way to go?
I don't know. I think for the first week, a lot of unexpected value. You want to kind of not go cheap on your quarterback, not also go over expensive either. But I like to target games that are going to be high scoring when it comes to my quarterback. That's not one of those.
That's not one of those.
Let me open up my DraftKings app. Hold on a second. If you're looking at it. So.
Whoop. You know what? Jordan, I think, brought the stat about the Dolphins scoring the most outside the red zone touchdowns. I kind of like Tua for that reason. A little Tua Kwando.
Yep.
Tua Kwando.
Out on the West Coast.
Who's got his blind side today then? If his tackle's out.
Oh yeah.
I hate that. That's just but it doesn't matter. It's week one. Go for Taekwondo.
Yeah.
Just bench.
I think that is going to make people. That'll make people not want to take him, right? It'll drive ownership down if he doesn't have his left tackle. So
Yeah,
who do we pair to?
Scary. That's kind of scary, man. He might not play past the first quarter if he don't have his left tackle.
That's where I'm at.
I've made about 4 lineups on DraftKings, even though I always throw a few in there. Those long GPP styles, and Tua is in one of my lineups as my wide receiver because he's not priced bad at all. I think what is he in FanDuel, like 7,200? Yeah, 6,700. That's not bad. All right, that's really good value on a game that the script right now looks, nice. It looks good.
Yeah,
for some high points.
Then you got Tyreek at 8,200 or Waddle at 7,100. Is it worth paying the extra for Tyreek, or is this sort of 6 of one, half a dozen of the other situation?
Man, I'm kind of with Tyreek, man. Even going back to his days in Kansas City, he's another boomer bust guy. Yeah, a lot less bust last year in Miami, but in Kansas City, man, he's another one of those guys give you 41 week and 2 the next. And so I try to avoid Tyreek, man. I don't know that I'm going to put too much. I know he had a great year last year. I know they got a great offense, but I don't know, man. I can't trust it. I'd rather go with Jalen Waddle and save my money.
Waddle it is. See, now we're looking good. We've only spent like
Waddle.
14 grand.
And then you got your stack if you pick Tua. So
Yeah.
You got to stack in big tournaments.
Yeah. Love those stacks too,
the-
man.
The insane move would be to add the Dolphins defense, but we're not going to do that.
No.
That'd be
Now,
bold.
running backs, we got to have Bijan, right? At 8,000. This might be the cheapest Bijan will be all season after he puts up 147 total yards today and 2 touchdowns. He'll be like 9,800 next week.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. They're going to jack that price way up there.
Jonathan Taylor still sitting here at 7,900. That would be a weird investment.
You got to throw either as your lower end tight end. I mean, running back, because you got to go that way. You got to throw in either Aaron Jones or Joe Mixon. I think Joe Mixon's the volume. It's going to be insane now. The P run is not there, and it's going to be from both sides. I think he's going to get a lot of rushing attempts, but also he's going to get a few targets as well.
I like it.
Game.
Oh, Elio, that makes me happy because I have him in a lot of my regular leagues.
Yeah.
He was really good. He was really well. He was low, man. He was so high. I like the way he was getting drafted, man. People slept on him. I mean, I know he didn't have a great year last year, but he still had a really good, decent season. And
I have him in 3 leagues, and I got him late.
Yeah.
I thought I was stealing him.
Yeah, I think
I said, what am I missing? What am I missing here?
He's on a good team. There's nobody behind him. Last we checked, he was pretty good at football.
Everybody gets, he's going on that 5-year mark, which is the death sentence for running back. So a lot of people stayed away from that. I mean, I don't blame them, but
I think a lot of people just forget about him, man.
Yeah.
In my opinion, if you're a fantasy owner and you got a couple suckers in your league, about week 6, you might get a haul for him.
Mm-hmm.
If he's year 5, get on that shit.
Yeah.
So I'm
gonna be a blessing.
I added Mixon. So then what you want to do in these situations, they call it a bring back, the DFS bros.
Okay,
you find somebody on the other team who's going to be scoring points to keep this game rolling. I like David Njoku at 4,200. Or what do you think about Donovan Peoples-Jones? That's going to be like a 3% ownership situation. He catches deep balls. Watson already showed us last year that he likes him, and he's rumored to be ahead of Elijah Moore on the depth chart.
I like DPJ, man. I do. He's a guy that's he's going to either win the contest for you or lose it for you. No in between.
Yeah, him and Moore are a toss up, right? I'm more of a Moore fan because I think he's more skillful. And just last year was a complete fucking shit show in New York, and this guy was never talented. Yeah. But in this case, I mean, it's just kind of a toss up. I would probably stay away from either or, but either one of those, it's just a toss up.
DPJ is 4,300. Elijah Moore 3,800. Elijah Moore likely to get some carries today, some end arounds. They could start using him like a Deebo Samuel. I used a 3rd round draft pick in our dynasty league on him. He was on waivers. I said,
he was so cheap this year, man. And the drafts, he was so late. Great value as a high risk, high reward kind of player. It's
Elijah Moore. That's the pick. Now we want Bijan. Now we got 4,400 per position left, but we can go super cheap at tight end. There's a ton of value at tight end this week.
Absolutely, there is.
Donald Parham Jr., $2,600. Nobody's going to have him. If that Chargers game is a shootout, everybody's going to have,
he
the
caught some touchdowns last year too, man, out of nowhere. I mean, he's such a bad cuff for what's his name? What's the tight end that I drafted last year and he sucked? Their starting tight end. I forget his name.
Yes.
I'm talking about for the set.
Are we all blanking on his name?
Yeah, it's unreal.
Sorry, I zoned out for a second. Who are we talking about right now?
Chargers, number 7, the guy who
Gerald Everett.
Gerald Everett.
Exactly. Everybody, he wasn't a good help for Everett last year. I thought you were going to get more from Everett last year based on that offense, and he completely did not do as planned. So I like that.
Yep.
Now what do you guys think about Calvin Ridley? Are they going to come out and make a statement with Calvin Ridley and show us what he can do there?
You either go Calvin Ridley or Christian Kirk. All right, at 5,600. If you want to get value and then kind of spend more money on your flex, I have Kirk in one of those situations because I think both guys will get targeted and will eat based on, again, it's all based on the game script of high scoring.
Yeah, and I'm with you on that, man. I really think Calvin Ridley's going to have a big time year, but Christian Kirk's already got a year under his belt in this offense with Trevor Lawrence, got some rapport already. I think it's going to take a couple weeks for Calvin Ridley to develop that, rhythm and stuff in the offense. So I think Christian Kirk, I think that's probably, especially being about 1,200 cheaper over on DraftKings, man. So yeah, I think you take the value of Christian Kirk right there.
Now, would you throw the Jags defense in there facing Indianapolis? I think Anthony
I love it.
Could be good for a couple picks.
I love the Jags defense this week. I think that's one of the best play. I think it's a top 5 defensive play this week in the Jaguars.
Now we got 5,900 left for the flex. We're looking at players like Hopkins. Well, you never want a double tight end. Did you know that about 12% of entries put a tight end in the flex? You're giving money.
I don't know why. How does Jamal Williams looks in there?
That's a high volume play right there.
Yeah, I think Jamal Williams is a solid flex play, solid running back play. I got him as one of my running backs. Actually, I just think he's going to have a big time week. Like you said,
I think today he's going to be the whole offense.
Yeah, and he always gets all those carries inside the 5-yard line, man. He did that all year. He had like 14 TDs or something last year for Detroit. All of them like 1-yard runs.
That man has a nose for the goal line.
That's right.
Absolutely.
I liked him going back to his days in Green Bay when he was backing up Aaron Jones, man. Before A.J. Dillon came around, I liked Jamal Williams back then.
We got another 800 left.
Lineups. Still got 800 left?
I think I could trade in Parham for Logan Thomas. Nobody's worse against tight ends in Arizona.
I like Logan
Thomas is a solid tight end.
I like Logan Thomas. That's a solid pick.
Yeah.
Isaiah Likely, I think everybody's going to have him in the lineups. Luke Musgrave, I feel like is going to be another popular pick. Logan Thomas.
And Logan, I mean, when he starts the season healthy, because that's his problem. He doesn't play a lot because he gets hurt. Look at his numbers early on in the season. He's and another security red zone target. It's kind of like a security blanket for Howell, right? You know, if you notice, Heineke liked them in the red zone. What's his name? The quarterback before him. Dude, I am blanking out on quarterbacks, man, from the Eagles. God, that's how much he sucks that we don't. Yeah, no, not Jalen Hurts, man. The guy who got the contract and then Jalen Hurts replaced.
Carson Wentz.
Wentz. I mean, this first game of the season.
We'd all like to forget about Carson Wentz.
Yeah. So it's like, if you look, it's bad. It's bad. I mean, I'm only 45 to be blanking out like this. I mean, I only have one beer and no breakfast yet. But but yeah, I honestly think that Logan Thomas it's a nice. I think that's a nice pick. I think I would go with that. I like that.
I think
so. Final draft is Tua, Joe Mixon, Bijan, Christian Kirk, Elijah Moore, Jalen Waddle, Logan Thomas, Jamal Williams, and the Jaguars defense. Chris just made a roster move in the Dynasty League. What do you guys think he did? Oh, he added Zay Jones.
Man,
I gotta get a wide receiver, man. I'm in trouble over there.
But yeah,
I'm reaching.
I got to ask y'all a question, man. I made a trade in my Dynasty League the other day. I think I asked you guys yesterday, but Elio, man, I had a guy offered me. I needed a quarterback. Kenny Pickett was my quarterback. I picked this team up. I just started this league this year, so it's been somebody else's team 4 or 5 years. Kenny Pickett was my quarterback. I was going to ride with him a little bit, but wound up drafting Travis Kelce and Aaron Jones in the auction draft. Guy offers me Josh Allen for Aaron Jones, so I decided to roll back with him, and I went ahead and dealt Kelce. I dealt Kelce and Aaron Jones for Josh Allen and Kenneth Walker III. How did I do?
Again, in your case, you need to fill voids, right? You know, you need to have that.
That's what I mean. I feel like I made my team better by doing that.
You did. I think you did. You have to. Kenny Pickett, I mean, he might be the next Ben Roethlisberger, but it didn't look like it last year, right? I think he's a good quarterback. I don't think he's going to be elite. You just got Josh Allen, an elite quarterback, and a number one running back, and a good offense that they're going to use him well.
Yeah,
so,
I felt good about it. The guy accepted the trade so fast. I was like, oh shit, maybe I should have asked for more.
I think you got better value overall than he did.
Cool. That makes me feel better, man.
I think he's just afraid of Kenneth Walker being injured.
That's what everybody looks for. But you know what? With Josh Allen,
you can't ride like that. You can't make any decisions on what ifs.
No.
I just dealt Travis Kelce because I'm so worried. Like, what if it comes out he winds up being out 3 or 4 weeks? Or it's gonna be a lot harder for me dealing. Everybody thinks right now it's gonna be a 1 week thing. He's gonna come back and beat Travis Kelce. I was like,
you don't know that.
It's not a good start of the year.
In the league since 2014.
Yeah,
so I'm saying, man. So like, hey, he come back, re-injure that knee. I was like, man, I need to tell him why the price is high because he comes back for a game, gets hurt again. Nobody's gonna want to touch him.
You also traded age for youth.
That's right.
Yes,
that's
right. You know what I'm saying? So that's Kelsey's over 30, right? You know, Aaron Jones is. I mean, I like Aaron Jones this year. I have him in a lot of my teams. But again, he's in that 5th year. You know, where everybody starts getting afraid of the running back. So I think you also traded youth for age, and Josh Allen in the mix. You know, that's shit, man. Especially Kenny Pickett is your starting quarterback. Absolutely, you want to jump all over that. So that was.
And I think, like you said, Kenneth Walker being so much younger, Travis Kelce, I mean, it's had $66 invested in him in the auction draft. I'm probably not going to keep him after this year, not knowing what going forward. Not saying he's not going to be a top tight end, but I don't want to invest that much money in him before the draft even starts.
Yep. No,
exactly.
I think it was solid.
I've never done an auction draft.
They're fun, man. This is my first year. They're awesome, dude.
That's what everyone says.
They're awesome.
We have to try it next year.
How do y'all like the sleeper app, man? I've heard a lot about sleeper app. I haven't done it, man. Do y'all like it?
Which one?
Yeah, I like sleeper because the group chat function is really easy and simple. It's right
and the drafting. I like the board too on draft. You know, when you're picking what you got like on a board and stuff like that. I like sleeper.
I don't like it.
No.
It's like a week-long draft, ain't it?
Well, it depends. You could do slow drafts.
Okay. I think it's overwhelming for what we use it for. It's great.
Yeah, it's a lot.
But we use it for 10% of the app. And it seems like when I'm in there, I start clicking around and go like, Jesus Christ, I just want to know my fantasy. I don't need to know what today's daily fantasy price for Njoku is. Like, I didn't mean that. I just want to see my fantasy.
They got 14 suggested same-game parlays up there for you and stuff.
But I will say the fantasy part for the statistics and stuff like that is good. Yeah. There's so many bells and whistles that I accidentally click on that I just get frustrated. I'm just like, I have to restart it a lot.
Yeah, that's part of the reason I like DraftKings so much, man. The easy web interface and all that stuff. I hate having to do that. So I've tried to mess around with Fanatic Sportsbook a little bit, and I hate the way that app runs, man. It's always I'm trying to enter a bet. It's really hard to put in-game betting in because the lines are changing so slow. The app doesn't run that smooth. So every time you go to click one in, it's been suspended. And I hate that, man. I want to get my bet in right now. That's why I clicked on this in-game betting line because I wanted it at that, damn it.
Yeah. Yep. That's what I like about Bovada. It's nice and quick. Sure, you got to send Bitcoin to some weird island in the South Pacific or whatever, but you can get live bets in quickly.
Yeah, I do bet US because I also have an affiliate deal with them as well. But what I don't like is their props and their parlay situation is not as good as Bovada or the other ones where you could just parlay a bunch of different things, players and stuff like that. It just mainly you got to stick to games or just do props alone. That's the only thing I don't like about them. So that's what I use right now.
Is it legal in all y'all states? Wherever y'all
not in Florida.
And it's not in Wisconsin either. It is in Colorado, right?
It's not illegal. Yeah, it's legal.
Everything legal in Colorado. I love Colorado, man. But yeah, it's legal in Tennessee. The only thing we can't do college daily fantasy or college individual player props. We can do everything else, but some states have it where they don't like the integrity of the game being messed with at the college level and all that stuff. So we can't do daily fantasy for college or individual player props for that. But we got everything else, man.
The integrity of the game.
It blows my mind that Texas and Florida don't have gambling.
Dude, it's unreal.
Dude, man, all this going on in Texas and Florida, and you can't bet on sports,
bro. It's been like now over a year or 2 years that they're still in. The bill's still there, getting looked at, and because it passed. I'm like, come on, man. But you know what it is? We have so much casino influence down here, bro. It's they're the ones who really control. You could go to the Hard Rock here, 10 minutes away from my house, and they have their own sports book. So it's like.
Well, that's like North Carolina. I can be up in North Carolina at Cherokee, man, and I can't put my bets in on DraftKings because North Carolina's not a state, but I can walk 10 minutes down to the sports book and put in whatever I want, man.
Exactly. Same thing down here,
man. It makes no sense at all. These governors, they hate revenue. That's the only answer.
Listen, bro, when New York fucking did it first, that should tell you that if New York did something right, that was it. Everything else has been a complete shit show down there. You should have pulled the trigger. When the stupid kid did something right, you know what I'm saying, dude? It should have been the first sign of like everybody legalized this shit throughout the United States.
Because we're gonna look.
How happy are you that you got the hell out of New York right now,
dude? It's been 19 years and I don't regret a single freaking day, brother. I mean, I just look out my window, look at my palm trees, and then look at the freedom I had through a certain amount of time and all the BS. I don't want to get political, but dude, I am, I'm so freaking absolutely, dude. My wife is dying to go back, because. I was like, listen, dude, I ain't going to New York, man, because what's going to happen is I'm probably going to get arrested defending some homeless guy, you know what I'm saying, or some shit like that, trying to stab me, and then all of a sudden I'm the one in trouble because I kicked his ass, you know what I'm saying?
Because I tried to be a good person. What the fuck?
Yeah, exactly. You know what I mean? I just don't want to right now. I lived there when it was bad, and it's worse than it was, so I'm not a fan. I went through that shit, and it's worse than what it was bad after, before things got good.
Man. Yeah, that's a different world. I've never actually been in New York. That's a different world, man. But let's talk about this legalization, man. There's going to come a point where all this stuff's legal everywhere. And we're going to look back and see how stupid it was. All these people are going to be raking in all this revenue and tax money and stuff. And they're going to be like, why were we doing this all along? It's just ignorant, man. It's like if you're an NFL employee, if you're a trainer for an NFL team, you can't even bet on a World Cup soccer game, man. Or they can spend, like, what the fuck does that matter? If I'm a trainer for a team And I understand if you don't want them to bet on the NFL and all that stuff, but I can't even bet on like Argentina and Zimbabwe in the World Cup. Why
What
not?
influence do I have on that?
Yeah, at all, man. I'm just fucking bored.
Yep. That's why I bet on Korean baseball. I'm up having coffee.
I
I'm
do,
bored.
and
I
you
wanna
can
get
fucking
some
tie
action
in
going.
Korean baseball, and I learned that shit the hard way, man. At over 6.5, ninth inning, tied 3-3. I got money in the bank. No, man, it updated me. Let me know you can tie in Korean baseball, man. They finished 3-3. That's a loser.
He goes, "Hey man, we're not paying you for that. That's our culture. We don't pay for fucking ties. We pay for winning." It's like,
This is why I can't have nice things.
yeah. I mean,
Well,
man.
it's week 1 in the NFL, and it seems like over the years, underdogs are the way to go.
Yep.
I was like, there has to be 2, 3, 4 who are going to win outright today. So, as Billy Madison said, what do? You get out there and find that fucking dog.
That's right.
Now, the Texans probably not going to beat the Ravens, right?
Leaning on your mic, man. Leaning on your mic.
Absolutely not.
No. I got one underdog that I'm betting the house on today.
Ooh, I want
What's
to hear
that?
Tennessee.
Oh, he's big on the Titans.
It just makes sense, right?
It's a good thing Coach has them Saints going to the Super Bowl. So
I should say you're against them Saints, Elio. He ain't feeling it, man.
It's something that's telling me, I'm going to parlay with Tennessee in there plus 2.5. It's not.
I might tease them Titans.
Yeah. So
I
like there's a reason that one, and of course my Giants. But the Giants are doing.
That's a winner straight up, bro. Them Giants winning on the money line, baby.
I hope so.
I'm going to add Titans plus 2.5 into our 5-team parlay. I'm going to put my favorite bet, the Bucks Vikings over 45.5. It dropped a half a point since we started broadcasting. What's your favorite bet on the board today, Cricket?
I like the Packers, man. I like the Packers against them Bears, but I ain't got no faith in Justin Fields. I really don't. I'm not saying he can't be a decent player, man, but he's not the quarterback they think he is. I like Khalil Herbert. I do. I like Cole Kmet. I just like Matt LaFleur. I like what Jordan Love does. Love Aaron Jones. We said all this stuff, man, but I'm just heavy on them Packers. Go Cheeseheads.
I like
nice.
it. We're already up
to throw to.
Yeah.
He's got nobody to throw to.
Yeah, that's
hey, man, it's the perfect time for somebody to burst onto the scene.
Reed.
I like Reed has been there's no other choice. Luke Musgrave definitely should get some love today. I mean, just by
maybe they'll run like a fan contest and they'll just draw somebody out of the stands. Some ticket number 3007. Come on down.
Look at these hands. Hey, Cricket, look at these hands, bro.
Jordan Love will pull them out of the stadium.
That's right, man. You're not far from the stadium, man. You better get in the truck.
I'll be up there in an hour.
He's got hands like
that. You're gonna have to miss
the one. He is all heart. I'll tell you that.
All heart. That's right.
All heart, baby.
I mean, Chris is the ultimate locker room guy. You need him in there.
I love it, man. Sign him up.
We're already up to plus 614. Wait till we add 2 more legs.
Holy crap, man. Look at that.
Woo. I tell you what I love is Jets plus 114.
Baby.
Uh-oh.
Ooh, it's up to plus 120.
Bringing Aaron Rodgers in.
Now we're at almost 15-1.
I think there's a culture problem in Buffalo, and I think we're going to see it really come to roost this year.
God, John spits the knowledge, bro. That is so true.
Yeah, you're right,
don't
John.
know how to shut up and play football. There's a lot of shit going on in Buffalo people don't know about just yet. And I'm with you there.
And Gabe Davis is not the guy. All right. No. We saw it last year when everybody was high on him after his playoffs against Kansas City the year before. He's not the guy.
Yeah, he can't. I don't know why he can't be, man. I don't understand it. It's obviously in there somewhere.
Yeah. It doesn't come out every game.
No. It doesn't show up every week for sure.
No, week to week.
All right, Chris. Cricket took Packers plus 1.5. That's probably your favorite bet on the board today, if I had to guess.
Yes.
What's your second favorite that you want to throw into our Ridley parlay?
Does that have to be plus money?
No, it can be anything.
No, man.
I like the Niners today.
Yeah,
Niners.
That's a good one.
So I just want to pause on the
I also like Tampa real quick. We talked about this.
For Chicago and Green Bay makes me think something's suspicious because I saw it earlier this week at 3. Then it dropped to 2.5. I got in on Bears minus 2.5. And Christian Watson goes out and it goes to -1.
Looks funny.
What do they
You're
know
right.
that I don't know?
That's
I
what
don't
I'm
know,
saying.
man.
Somebody knows something.
Something's wrong.
Something ain't right
I
there.
don't like it. I don't like it.
Hey, Chris,
Hey,
going back
somebody
to
called Uncle Gino, all right, in Vegas somewhere. It's going to be heading out of Chicago. They're playing in Chicago? No, they're playing here in
No, they're in
somebody's
Chicago.
getting some guy's getting kneecap before the game starts, and it's going to be a freaking injury right away from the Bears. Something's going to happen.
Chris, going back to your pick about the Niners right there, man. I've been pretty heavy on the Steelers until I saw everybody heavy on the Steelers, and the line keeps kind of creeping down.
Yeah, it's
that
crazy.
49ers is a good football team, man. That defense is nasty. I like them 49ers too,
Yep.
man. I think that's a big pick this week.
Hey, they're healthy today.
Mhm.
They may
Yeah,
not be
man.
healthy tomorrow, but today they're healthy.
I'm betting the Niners as well.
Coming out with both. I wonder what the odds are on Bosa 2+ sacks, man. Because I think he got paid. I ain't gonna come out motivated today. I think he's gonna have a big game.
Yeah.
So
Cricket,
in the
you're right.
parlay, we have Titans +3, 49ers money line, over 45.5, Tampa Bucks, Minnesota Vikings, Green Bay Packers +1.5, New York Jets money line. That's going to give us $254 on a $10 wager. And if you get into our Discord, it's the pinned tweet at PSRNTWK. I have a contest channel set up. You throw your Cash App hashtag in there, and if this bet hits, we'll pick a couple people to share the money with.
That's right.
That's how you build communities. You fucking bribe people.
Love that. You got to give shit away,
Fucking
man.
bribe people.
Hey, that's how this country was built on, brother. Bribes, all right, my
Everybody
man?
likes free shit, man.
Take it from a
One
guy that
thing
came
I've
from a
learned
communist
from
country. He has no
Vivek
idea
is
what bribing was.
monetary motivation. It's a thing.
That's right.
All right. We got our parlay in. We got our DFS lineup built. We're on 2 hours exactly.
Holy
We're
shit.
in mid-season form already. Is there
That's right.
anything else we need to hit before we bid the people good luck on their
I
wagers?
want to give y'all my
fantasy
daily
lineup.
fantasy lineup for DraftKings real quick,
Yep.
man.
Yep.
Real quick.
Give it to us.
Quarterback, I like Deshaun Watson. You get him at 6,000. Running back, Aaron Jones, 6,300. Running back, Jamal Williams, 5,100. Wide receiver, Omari Cooper, doing a little stack right there with Deshaun Watson, 5,800. I like A.J. Brown, 7,600. I like Nico Collins. You mentioned Nico Collins earlier, John. I think he's going to wind up being the top receiver in Houston. I think he's going to have a big breakout year, man. You get him
Tallest guy on the
4,700.
team, I think.
Huge value on Nico Collins this week, 4,700, man. I think it's the cheapest it's going to be all year. I like the tight end Tyler Higbee, man. I think he's going to have a big week with Cooper Kupp out. My flex, Najee Harris. I know we talked about San Francisco, but I still think Najee's going to get his. And then I'm on that Jaguars defense, man. That's total combined salary cap of 49,900. Give it to me.
Hey, I'm going to give you my FanDuel foot lineup too before we go. So like that, we have one for FanDuel as well.
Yeah,
Let's get fucking crazy. It's the first week.
That's right, man. Get hype.
That was a really good lineup, by the way, there, Cricket. All right, ready?
Minus 2 hours, hour and 48 minutes.
Shit, I'll be quick. Ready? Tua Tagovailoa, quarterback. Again, I'm going to stay on that game all freaking day until it kills me or not. Joe Mixon. I got Jamal Williams, Waddle, Calvin Ridley. I'm going with the up and back, and Waddle's my stack. DK Metcalf because I got some money saved up. Definitely going Tyler Higbee, Aaron Jones on my flex. And when it comes to defense, man, I just throw garbage out there. If I get 5 points, I'll be lucky because I'm hoping I get a shitload of points from that. The Rams against Seattle.
Ooh.
Okay, I like.
Nobody's gonna own them. If they get me an interception, all right,
over,
that's
baby.
6 points. In a pick or a
Send that
touchdown.
man the
That's
money.
it. That's all you
Send
need.
that man the money, man.
6
Sign
point,
him up.
man.
That's over, man. They should send us this check right now.
Oh shit!
call that
I've been saying that
leverage.
now for 10 years, and it doesn't
I
happen.
get it, bro. I get it. If I ever won one of these for 10,000 for daily fantasy, I might be even.
Oh my, yeah, me too. Put it that way. I go up and down.
Cricket, tell the people what you're doing over there at sportspicks.locals.com and where to find your stuff.
Oh, man, over at sportspicks.locals.com, come check us out for the best value in sports handicapping, man. We got the great Robert Barnes over there providing his official picks. He crushes it.
I've heard of him.
6-0 on his 5% plays this year, man. You get over 1,000 picks annually. Winds up being about 50 cents per pick. Everywhere else going to give you upwards of $10 per pick, man. So we got the best value in sports handicapping. Come over to sportspicks.locals.com where we turn the odds in your favor.
Man, you really hit that line at the end perfectly. Elio, tell us about Average Joe.
Hey, man, Average Joe Sports Talk, just variety sports talk about everything. I mean, I do a little bit of fantasy, jump on with a bunch of other people, but it's mainly sports all the time. And find me, I'll do a live stream where now the NFL, I try to break down only trending topics in sports, mainly football now. Got a new show that started in a collaboration with another friend of mine. It's called Cigars and Sports. We try to do this every other week where we just light up some cigars, man. We talk, it's a variety of sports, cigars, pop culture variety. I mean, we spoke about The Sopranos the other week, this past Friday. We did The Karate Kid, but we also talk about sports mainly, man. And it's actually a really cool new concept that me and this guy trying out. So.
Yes, sir.
That's a great concept. I love it.
Love it.
Eric,
Love
tell
it.
the people where they can find us.
We are at PSRNTWK on the Twitter. We are at Fantasy Sports Corp on the Twitter. You can subscribe to this channel. You should be already, but if you're not already, we don't blame you. And my friend,
Where are we at right now?
oh, sorry. We are in the Betts Laboratory at Canna Bloom Studios, cannabloompharmacy.com, Canna Pharmacy with an F for all of your relaxation needs. You got aches and pains, you can't sleep, your dog's scared of thunderstorms. They got gummies, they got tinctures, they got vapes. They got some legal reefer back there that looks just like what you used to get behind the bleachers in high school, except
Woo.
so yeah, they got some kind of science experiments out here. We got glasses with vapor in them that people are drinking like a beverage. They got a whole bar lined up back there. We got some food trucks coming today. I don't know, 12, 20 of them. There's going to be a bunch of vendors. We're having a Packers watch party. I forgot all this shit.
Good recovery, man.
We're having we're good. We're having a big day today, though. Here's the grand opening at our new studio.
I'm jacked up on football and free Canna Bloom products.
Eric excited, man. He excited.
So, I think you call it the Beat Laboratory. We may we're going to rest on that. We may get some people from our comments and our normal listeners, and let's vote on a name for the new studio.
Right now, it looks like
a
a
nickname.
fish tank. It looks like we're in a fish tank.
Yeah. Very aquarium-esque.
That's fair, man. That's fair. I
The
think
life
it looks dope. I
aquatic
don't
in
care what it looks dope, man. Y'all
Yeah, it looks really dope, man.
Love it.
It looks
we
really
love
dope.
it. We appreciate the people at Canna Bloom Farm.
There's a big farmers market out there. The whole outside right now is, when we got here early this morning, it was just a parking lot. Now it's tents and food trucks. It looks totally different out there. We got a whole deal going on.
All right, I got
fun day. So if you're around Hartford, Wisconsin, come on down.
Anywhere in the surrounding area. Yeah, we might have some surprise guests later. Who knows what's going to happen today?
We will be on for the Packers watch party at what time, Eric? 2 o'clock?
Packers game starts at 3. We're going to do a pregame show, right?
1:30?
Probably, yeah. Hour
Probably
and a
back
half.
on at 1:30.
We'll be back here 1:30 Central Standard Time to talk Packers, Bears.
And probably a little bit after, I'm sure.
Probably that.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Nice.
You will already have won and lost some wagers. So we'll be
Yes.
we'll be all fired up in here.
See you on the other side.
Yeah. Mama said there
Thank
would
you,
be
everyone,
days
for
like this.
tuning in. Great to be with everybody once again. Make sure you're subscribed to Fantasy Sports Corporation channel. And remember, all the best people turn notifications on. Best of luck today with your wagers and lineups. We will see you right back here at 1:30. We'll see you right back here for this show next Sunday and every Sunday at 8 a.m. Central Standard Time. Till then, best of luck with your wagers and be good to each other. Chris, kick the outro music.